was very tired yesterday, and I actually got a full night's sleep. Baby girl was able to sleep a little bit better. So we're going to bring you that stock market analysis. We're going to do that first thing in the morning. We're going to do our breakdown of all the stocks that we cover on this channel. And I just wanted to make a couple things clear here. We today are going to give those daily expected moves. If you're looking for those, we're going to show them on the screen right now for the SPY for just a little bit here. And then also we're going to show them for the Qs in a moment as we break these down. So make sure to get those on your charts for the day. And the second thing is Teachable did finally reach out to me. They gave me a very vague email, but everything should be up and working again, and they are going to start paying me again finally. So I don't know what was going on there. It's very, very funky, but there you go. So for now, you should be able to get the course now. No problems with the payment processing is what I was told. So go for it. It is still $100 for the whole month of June, guys. Okay, so dedicate yourself to getting some learning done, because this market is crazy. And I mean, I respect people who are saying, you know, this isn't even maybe a market I want to trade, and I understand that. Okay, so let's do a little breakdown this morning, and a key thing happened at the end of yesterday, so let's get started. Yes, I have a pink mug. Okay, so for today, we wanted to point out that at the end of yesterday, we did not cross over on the 2-hour MACD. That is a very, very key thing to understand. And I think it was AD even messaged me and he said, hey, I noticed the 30-minute curled up. Does that mean we're going to see a little bit more positivity? That actually does say, hey, there is the potential there. But we just noticed on the 15-minute how it looked like we were kind of just getting this dull pop-up, and now we're coming back down. I would really expect this weird behavior to actually continue because of the AMC and GME problem. Okay, and now the borrowing is getting more expensive. We're going to go over AMC and GME in a little bit here. But just for now, let's just take this with a grain of salt. Say 15-minute. If that crosses down this morning, okay, that means negativity. If that crosses right back up, okay, that means positivity. We do have a pretty small range for the day. The range is going to be 537.67 to the upside and 533.65 to the downside. Now, if we get outside of those, when you do have a tight range like this, you know, you can see something crazy happen. So we'll pay attention to this, but if we get outside of this early on in the day, we could see some kind of bounce up. This is like a smaller range than yesterday, which is very, very interesting. So make sure to get these on your charts, okay? Qs, what do we want to pay attention to here? Well, again, a small range, and we're getting closer and closer to that monthly expected move. And some people that are part of the Patreon pointing out that we're pretty much testing monthly expected moves on a lot of charts. And I think that's very good. You guys are paying attention to that. That is awesome. I love it. And good morning. Good morning, John. So what do we want to pay attention to for the Qs? And you notice we're still seeing these little trickle ups, and this is that rigged behavior. So I understand that this is a hard market to trade in, but it just means maybe we want to do bigger time frames. And we'll notice this, the 2-hour never crossed over, so we're still being patient if we're trading based on the 2-hour here. We see the divergence, we see it at the same time, we see it in the near price action. So a lot of this is saying weakness, but maybe they want to see what happens with the AMC GME thing before that actually does get ripped away. So we need to pay attention to a couple levels since we're seeing a lot of weird, small, tiny moves, not a lot of volume, which makes sense. The market makers are paying most attention to AMC and GME. GME has like 4 times the volume of the SPY every single day. Okay, so 467.42 to the upside, sitting by that monthly expected move. That is the upside range. And then 462.24 to the downside. So pay attention to these levels on the shorter time frames. We will watch them. But for this morning, we're going to see if this 2-hour can complete and then break through. And then once you do break through these, you can use them as resistance. But also just note that for the day, you do have a 68% chance to land back in this zone. So you have to take this with a grain of salt if this rolls over today. But if you start to see that escalate, then that means like, hey, we're probably going to see something crazy. Maybe we go down to the weekly down towards 452.92. We'll pay attention to these things. The reason we have to pay close attention is because we still have daily divergence, guys. We have daily divergence on the SPY. We have daily divergence on the Qs, on the MACD and RSI at the same time. So if that completes, we might see some major weakness coming forward. Okay, so let's pay attention. Let's take a peek over at XLU. This is seeing the bounce, but what did I say? I was like, you know, the weekly range is telling us this isn't going to see some kind of full recovery. It is holding up better, but it's still completely opposite of the SPY right now. So I assume they really want to catch up to this, but they can't because of the AMC GME problem. What are we doing? We got close to the center line. I think we have a chance to keep going for a little bit and then see that turn around, but I'm still paying attention if that 30-minute curls over at any time. That's going to be a big thing. If we're going to see a more extended move, then I think it'll just trickle up on a 2-hour. we'll still pay attention to this, and then we'll pay attention to dailies crossing over. Apple, this was great. This was great. A lot of people bringing up Apple yesterday, and the reason they were bringing up Apple was because this 30-minute. Okay, so this is the stock that I trade the most, and it's great to see people understanding it. It behaves a little bit better than others. So there you go. Yeah, you get one more rig move up. There's your risk management, right? I was right on the move, just not the right timing. So I risk manage, and then I see that pop back down, and boom, there's your trigger right here at 195.62. Now we are down towards 193.38, and we still have to pay attention, because if that 30-minute crosses up, where's it going to be? It's going to be close to the center line. So if that crosses up, that might not be the moment. But right now, you do have the weakness in the 2-hour telling you I am in a pullback. I am in a pullback. That is very clear. And then if it gets close to that center line, curls up, well, we could see this build down to here, curl back up, do something like this. They are letting the craziness continue. The rigged market is continuing here. So I would really pay attention to fake outs when we get close to these center lines. All right, Tesla was a wonky one, because the 2-hour actually was able to cross over. We're right in the trap zone, though. You're pretty much stuck between a trap zone for the bears and a trap zone for the bulls, okay? This is something that retail likes to trade a lot, so it makes sense they're just trapping back and forth over and over again. But all you need to know is there is a ton of liquidity built up here. So at the end of the day, when this thing picks a direction, I think it will be a big move, because we have built up for so long. The reason I'm thinking that we could see some weakness, right now we're technically in a pullback, right? It's still in bullish context because we're above that center line down here. But what do we notice? The daily has rolled over in that pullback, and it's about to go negative. So if this starts to break below the 50, we might see that start to test this low. Then we may go test this gap area here, that gap resistance, gap support, or we may go to the low here. So just pay attention. We're very close to negative territory for Tesla. It's still a difficult one to trade. Now, Amazon, this is finally getting a second green bar. So on the second green bar, my rule goes out the window. So I'm going to take a look at this on the 30-minute and just say, hey, someone was pointing out a good 15-minute divergence, but look at the rig move heading up again. Okay, so if this wanted to head higher, it can. It'll cross up and show that. But if we look at a 15-minute here, we're seeing triple divergence. We're seeing a lot of divergence across the way. What can happen from this? Well, we could turn down. We could turn down. It needs to confirm, right? That's why we're saying we could. The indicator's not telling you anything yet. I'm just speaking for the indicator. That's overall what we do on this channel. We follow the indicators, and I just tell you the most probable thing based on what the indicator is doing. So as of right here, if that curled down, it would still say pullback. You don't really want to think that, but it is a chance to go negative. It's a higher probability to go negative because we're close to that center line. Up here, not as big a chance. Right here, pretty good chance. Another rigged move. To right here, you would have a good chance to reverse around that trend, start some kind of negative trend down. We're paying attention to this, okay? We're paying attention. That can roll over the 2-hour. Maybe we get like a little 2-hour pullback because it's pretty up there in positive territory. But this is just algorithmic buying. You can tell it's just algorithmic buying. This is not retail buying, and they're just allowing it to happen. This is the algorithm at work right in front of you, because you can see it's a very tight little channel. Okay. We know what it is. Now, Nvidia, this is very important. We actually started to curl over last week, I believe, on the 2-hour, last Friday, right here. We see that rig move up. That's where it's like risk management, okay? So the 30-minute was able to curl back up, risk management, but that completed at the end of the day. So I'm interested to see what happens with Nvidia going forward. The put-call ratio is still at 0.91, so maybe we want a couple more rigged moves. They really want to trick retail. Retail's been very good the last few days, actually, at taking the right move, I would say. I think they know that the market should drop from here, and I think that's very cool to understand. We're going to look at the dollar in a moment as well. Just know, actually, we'll look at it now. Nvidia has insider selling. The reason we know Nvidia has insider selling is look at this overnight. Again, every time it's overnight that you see the move higher, okay? You see this again. It has crossed on the MACD. If that goes positive, that's not going to be a good thing. Guess what? You get above 105.65, you might very well see a rug pull, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now, that is a good probability for some kind of rug pull. We don't know how deep that rug pull will be. Maybe it's just a 2-hour drop and then it curls right back up. So we still have to pay attention to it. But this is a massive insider selling move as the SPY and the Qs are still towards all-time highs, as the SPY and the Qs are still showing green. Once again, the dollar was green again, while the SPY and the Qs were green one more time. That is what we pay attention to on this channel. Okay, let's get back over to AMD. AMD did something huge yesterday. It crossed down on the daily. So this is a big deal because now the daily momentum can be with this and start pointing down. We could head down to these levels. We could go a little bit lower. That is very important to understand how close it is to negative territory, but it's not there yet. So if this 30-minute curls up, it is not the moment. Okay, you always want to be paying attention to if it is or isn't the moment. And right now you would really like, if this is going to be the moment, you'd actually probably like to see a little 30-minute curl up here and then just start to break down at the end of the day. I'd like to see this do this and curl down, and then we see a big move down. We're still waiting for the big confirmation move down for AMD. 30-minute curling up, hey, it's within range of positive territory, but you see it's starting to get further away than last time. It's starting to get a little further away than last time. So now you have a little bit more probability that whatever pop you get here could just fade. All right, we're paying attention to AMD. It has crossed over on a daily MACD to the downside. So I would be, my rule is in place. I'm not pretty much my rule is if it crosses on the daily MACD down anywhere, then I'm not saying this stock should go up because daily momentum can take over. Meta, this showing a bunch of little 30-minute divergences now. This screams weakness to me. The 2-hour doesn't really have those divergences. It does on the RSI, not on the MACD. It violated these divergences over here. So now you're in a different trend. That's very important to understand. This could turn down, turn right back up. This could turn down, turn right back up. Okay, so pay attention to what the charts are telling you at all times, especially in this environment. The daily side, we are flashing positive still. We're still within range, right? We're still within range. If we just get a turnover here, which that dollar is screaming higher, the insider selling is there. So if this turns down at any time, well, we should expect that daily momentum to take over, just like with AMD. Microsoft, we'll look at this for a moment just because I noticed that this was not confirming the move higher on the daily scale. We already have a bunch of divergences up at this level. What can we see here? Well, we can see the 2-hour rollover, and this is different. This is still algorithmic buying, but the 2-hour rolling over here compared to Amazon is very close to the center line. So we could reverse that trend right now. And I would really be paying attention to this going forward because, well, the 30-minute isn't able to curl up. We kind of get this just downward move, but it's still hovering around that overbought territory. So I would just be careful because when you see a MACD just going down while this is going up, there's two things that can happen. Either a rug pull hack can happen to catch up to that MACD telling you it's down, or we just keep squeezing. So we'll pay attention to that going forward. Let's look at AMC real quick. The level to get above for AMC to see something crazy is 633. Okay, 633 is where I expect the halts to start coming in if this gets a little crazy. At the end of the day yesterday, we actually marked this off so people understood like, hey, the center line's important. And I'm glad we marked that off because look at this, you're curling up as of right now. This is the indicator telling you, hey, I have a chance for some positivity. Once it gets across this red line, this center line on the 0 line here, that is when the stock is positive and you usually see a bigger move. But right now you are crossing up. So I did add to my position at the end of the day yesterday for AMC, for GME as well. The 30-minute, very, very important as well. Look at that. It was able to cross over. Well, it actually crossed over yesterday and then it uncrossed at the end of the day, but I still added my position. I think this does have the opportunity to drop lower. We know the lowest it can go this week is about $15. $15 is as low as GME can go, and I am kind of doubtful that it gets there. Volatility did scale up a little bit today. Okay, volatility scaling back up, getting this double top look. So if this 30-minute curls down at any time, well, then we might see a push lower. Okay, we might see a push lower if that confirms. So don't expect this to have to go up from here. Maybe we get a 2-hour divergence that is right next to the center line as we come down for some kind of double bottom or something like that. So paying attention to volatility as well. Let's flash back over to the SPY IWM, seeing some weakness as well. So those 2-hour divergences not really coming to anything. 30-minute rolling over. Maybe it creates something this morning going towards its weekly expected move. So we'll pay attention to that. But as of right now, the SPY curling over, already violating the daily expected move. That is kind of huge. And you're kind of confirming on the 15-minute those divergences right now, but you're not negative, okay? You have to go negative. That's very important to understand. You don't want them to trick you or anything. We'll see what the PCC levels are this morning, and we'll pay attention. How's it going out there? I'm sorry, we had to do a little breakdown. I couldn't do the, what's it called? I couldn't do the video last night. I was so tired that I was just like, I can't do it. I'm doing too much. And then I passed out and my wife was like, you just slept the whole time. I was like, that never happens to me. So I'm feeling good though. I hope you guys are feeling good as well. XLU curling down on the 1 hour. Yeah, keep your eye on XLU for me. We're just going to watch the SPY, see if it reacts around this daily expected move. Are the Qs The Qs aren't there yet, okay? So the SPY's already there, the Qs are not. Let me get into my account over here. All right, we're gonna keep that. Keep that, keep that. Everything looks pretty good. Good morning, John, Steve, Pablo, Rolando. I like anime. Mike Bagger. Holding the bags out there, Mike, aren't we? Red One, what up? Polar Bear, good morning. I got a polar bear picture right behind me. Maybe I'll show it to you in a second. I've had it since I was a little kid. I always kept it. Lil Air 15. Nvidia got another price upgrade, another trap. I think that they're just going to say as positive things as possible about Nvidia every single day so that people keep buying into it. I really do. I just... From what we have experienced from the media lately, it is they are telling you kind of the opposite of what is going on, and I don't trust it. It doesn't mean Nvidia can't go higher. It does not mean Nvidia can't go higher. That is very important to understand. The 30-minute has crossed over with some steep double top divergence here. So right now, the MACD is telling us, hey, watch out. There's potential, big momentum weakness here. This can roll over that MACD, and the 2 hour is already rolled over. I mean, roll over into negative territory. Negative trend can be there. It's very, very close. So we'll pay attention to this, but if people get excited and keep trying to short it, they're just going to squeeze it and squeeze it. They're trying to milk as much money as possible out of it, and that's pretty obvious to me because the dollar, but just the dollar going up is it's just insane. It's just insane because now you can't even argue like, oh, they flooded out of TLT because this is going up too. Like yesterday, you kind of had the argument of maybe they sold out of TLT for the last couple of days. But now you're like, okay, now that this is going up too, it's looking a little less likely. So I'm paying attention to volatility, seeing if that can roll over. Also looking at the 2 hour, seeing that's going positive right now. So just be careful with it. The daily is rejecting as of right now, and you're starting to creep closer to positive territory. So everything here is fishy. It is. It's been fishy for the last month, okay? And I think 50X has a point there. There is potential for some kind of crash. Now, I think that will be a crash in the form of a bear market. Now, why would I believe that? Why would I believe that the crash would be in the form of a bear market? Well, because a overall crash, yeah, it doesn't allow people to react, but everyone loses money in a crash. Retail is very bad at bear markets. So actually, if the market maker wants to make the most amount of money from retail, they would make it a bear market. And I think that they're scummy, and I think that's what's going to happen. SPY daily expected moves 537.67 to the upside and 533.65 to the downside. Yeah, these are at the beginning of the video, so if you need these daily expected moves, I'm staying on the SPY multiple times today so you can get them. I'm just thankful I was able to get a good amount of sleep last night. All right, I'm gonna turn on some tunage. Let's turn on some tunes this morning. Me and my wife were to we did spend some time yesterday, and we actually were able to play Valorant. I was like 23 and 10, classic. She was like 6 and 20. She's garbage. Sometimes she watches the stream. I shouldn't say those things. But that was the first time we've gotten to play video games, so I did take some time for to hang out because she was with baby girl was with Abu with her abuela, and yeah, I don't feel bad about that at all. It's the first time played a video game in like maybe like 2 months or something, so it was fun. All right, let's tune on. Let me make sure this isn't playing in the stream so I don't get in trouble. Okay, and then I just need to get a couple things up and I'll start reading chat. We can look around. If there's anything interesting happening, please let me know. SPY 30 minutes turned down. Man, look at that 30 minute. It turned down. Now we got to see, is this the rigged move? If I tried. Dollar starting to break out even higher right here. All right. SPY might bounce. You're right. This is the level to pay attention to. This is early on in the day. We have a very small range. We could just keep moving sideways. Should have got out of my SMCI. Let's go look at SMCI and see if that would have been the right move. Let's see if you're right. As of right now, I would say based on the 30-minute, the MACD is telling you to risk manage. I think you're making the move right now. It's fine. It's fine. But sometimes if you want it to be a little tighter, you can see the 15-minute. See, this looks almost like divergence. Sometimes that's enough to make my gut go, let's get out of this for a second. And then, hey, that turns back up. Awesome. Maybe that's the big move. But right now, you're making the right move. I'm just going to tell you, don't feel bad about that at all. Your indicator's telling you, as of right now, making the right move. We'll see if that bounces back. Even if the world falls apart, the SPY will bounce. Facts. QQQ, John? See, Q's on the 15-minute, probably not even confirming this. See, the Q's haven't confirmed it. And in order for a crash, you need the Q's to go down. They're the ones that hold all the bubbles. This holds all the bubbles. Like a lot more condensed. It holds all the bubbles. 2 hour is crossing down. 2 hours, I like to wait for at least an hour and a half of the bar to be done. Day 3 of no profits at all on AMC. Hey, I've never had really profit on AMC. But I know exactly what I'm doing. They want you to get rid of your positions. It's very, very obvious there. And by they, I mean the market maker. The market maker and the short sellers. It's not going to be easy. Nothing's going to bounce up. But you have some potential for good moves. If they got rid of that offering and they're sitting on a bunch of cash, that's not a bad thing. The Dow. Ooh, the Dow, guys. You guys, the Dow. Anybody see that? Holy XLU. Oh my God. See, this is not a good look for the SPY right now. We could see something drop off here. I really want to see that PCC level that updates here. Okay, CPC at the end of the day yesterday was 0.68. By the way, this is CPC. This here is something to pay attention to. This is just prints at the end of the day. Okay, so this right here is something to pay attention to at the end of the day. That is a very deep level. Okay, so that means there are a lot of calls in the system, and you need to pay attention to that. We'll look at the PCC as it opens up. Yeah, volatility looks pretty decent. But yeah, the XLU really dropping off. We have the Dow really dropping off. Meta, we'll see if this is able to drop off soon. I'm just seeing like very funky moves, but good sign. One good thing is like the 5-minute was able to go positive. Now if you see another pullback, well, as long as that remains up in these areas, you have a chance at any moment. We talked about 0 DTE and why it's not a good thing. You have to make sure your signals are telling you, especially if you do something like that. Yeah, it's true, 50X. If they keep printing that money, why is my, am I louder than usual? I noticed my thing going to red right now. Let me turn this down a little bit. Maybe that's a little better. Feeling my buzz, that's why they call it morning. Apple mooning, looks like they want to go new all-time high. Yeah, there's your rigged move right there. 15-minute, very good to pay attention to your risk. That already curled up. That's, yeah. There's another rigged one right there. They tell you it's going down. So this is where it's hard to, like this is nothing against you. This is nothing against your trading. This is where I take out a month position, right? Because I know that this market is so terrible that I'm like, they can do anything at any moment. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. Elon Musk's tweet is spot on, by the way. If you guys read Elon Musk's tweet, he said, if they are going to put OpenAI in their OS, then I'm not going to allow any employees to have Apple phones because they're going to steal as much data as possible. And I think that that's facts. Yeah, this could be to take out stops as well. We don't have to be too faked out by this. The 15 minutes still negative. Nothing about this says like it has to be a good move. Now, it's a very early move. We'll see what happens. But for now, it can go all the way up to 204 or something. So just pay attention. It can. But I would really be waiting for like an hourly to curl up or something like that for that to be a positive play. This is where it kind of is. You know, you got to take out those longer positions, in my opinion. That's why I say longer positions are better. When people do 0 DTE, I say I do not do 0 DTE. Desde Mexico. What's up, Xavier? Or Xavier? Slot Machine. Last time Elon said you can trade BTC with Tesla. Oh, Bitcoin, by the way. Let's look at Bitcoin. Remember, we were saying watch out for some kind of rug pull. Now, we were saying how if this stuff starts to curl up, it looks good. But I was like, just be careful. You have daily divergence here. There's the daily divergence coming in. We'll see what happens with this. But you would have to say this is something that is ripping down. And a lot of the time, the market follows that. And two, this right here, don't think that short sellers and insiders are not in this who are fighting the AMC and GME thing. They are going to use all these cryptos. They're going to rip away probably the smaller ones first to pay for the problem. Be careful with your money out there. GME seeing a 6% drop, able to cross as of right now on the daily MACD. AMC crossed yesterday on the daily side of things. So that does tell you the momentum for the daily is in a pullback as of now. Very important to understand. Now you're in a pullback. Now you have to see if that's able to hold up over time. AMC could go all the way down to like below $4, just so you know, for this week. That's what's expected. If you need those exact levels, you can go onto Patreon. Like I'm the only one. Quick scalps. Yeah, Robert, if you're scalping and you know what you're doing, awesome. I'm going to move this away from me a little bit. I don't know. My mic seems sensitive today. I thought you knew. I'm going to try to mess with the mic. I thought you'd make this kind of mess all by myself. Okay. Maybe that's a little better. I feel like I'm yelling at you guys. Two-hour cross on the Dow. I'm going to pay more attention to the Dow as of right now, because the SPY is going to be the rigged one. The Dow's a little bit less rigged. D is something. That's a bad sign for the Dow. It's rejecting on the 2-hour for XLU right now. This looks like we're getting closer and closer and closer to the rug pull moment. If this confirms, you got a shot. You got a shot to go negative, but just pay attention because that could be just a pullback. We want to pay attention to the next rigged move all the time. Oh, I sound fine. Thank you, Barcode. I'm just making sure. I don't like to... When it hits the red zone, I'm like, I don't like to be screaming at you guys. Ooh. All right. Got to pay attention to volatility. Taste to the brain, this, if this confirms... And this isn't the best divergence here, so I might not get out of my position here. Volatility position applied down here, so 0.68 CPC, that is crazy. SPY, 30-minute crossover here, that completes. It means bad things. Now we need to make sure to know, well, the PCC hasn't updated. PCC hasn't updated, or did it update just now? Okay, it updated, so it is higher. Oh my God, what am I doing? It should, yeah, it updates at the 15-minute mark there, but yeah, it's higher, so this could be another rig move, but we'll see. We'll see going into today, because the CPC was 0.68 at the end of yesterday, so those could be flowing in from today. Maybe we see a rig move down and then back up. We'll have to see. But this would tell me that this might be some kind of trap, so I'm going to look at it on a 15-minute. If that 15-minute curls up, where's it close to? Positive territory. We're getting outside of it. Qs haven't even hit that range yet, so maybe they need to hit the range before the SPY can do anything. XLU dropping off dramatically, though. This looks like crash signals to me. This looks like something crazy happening more so to me than some kind of rebuild, but don't think that that has to happen. We'll just pay attention to the signals. Swung spy puts and Apple calls. Whee! I love that. 532.40, then look out below. Yeah, I would say, what's the low here? 532.56, you already broke, and then right here, so maybe your line. 531.73. Yikes, that's looking bad. Here we go. What's Nvidia doing though? Nvidia's, of course, Nvidia's positive. Of course it is. So if you let me, I think it is too. I think you're getting another point of divergence up here with these wicks. I think you're right to say that, but this is V-shaped recovery. So a lot of the time in V-shaped recovery, you'll see like this happen. You'll see another signal in the future, but you're right to think that. It's a time where taking longer out positions is probably the better move. Tesla, ooh, I told you when this distributed, it's gonna be bad. Look at that. Look at that. I said that right away this morning, I was like, if this gets out of these ranges, it's gonna be ugly. Now, is Tesla hitting a weekly expected move? Because they're going to fake you out as much as possible. It's still not at the weekly expected move. You got like 4 more points. 4 more points for that one. Way down. XLU trying to cross over on the 30-minute as well. So 2 hour, all that stuff looking ugly. Amazon starting to crush as well, go down. AMD holding up at the weekly expected move 158 level. It's holding up at that weekly expected move as of right now. Let's go look at it. Oh, but the 15-minute is deep, man. Now you're below that 160.83, very key level. See how we're getting the wicks? Now it's turning into some kind of resistance. So back here we gapped above it to take it back. Right here we used it as support, and then now we're breaking through it, so now it might turn into resistance. There's some weird, ugly stuff happening. Let's not. 0.92, 0.92, okay, we're still good. That's not at 0.95 yet. If that goes to 0.95, someone tell me. Or 1. $50-minute, 30-minute, 2 hour, all crossing down. All crossing down. Very key. Very key. Is the daily able to cross down today? That would be massive. That would be a massive signal. That might be a massive signal that something with AMC and GME is going to happen in the next, like, few trading days, unless they're using this to take profit to fight it. Oh, rate cut tomorrow. The only one who thinks so. I think it's possible. I do think it's possible because TLT is getting this big move with the retest now. I think it's possible that they just randomly do a rate cut. So be cautious with this stuff bouncing back up. We know that that is because something is breaking in the system though. And usually it is when they start to cut those rates, you need to watch out for the next 6 to 18 months. Good morning, Skarking. I don't know if there would be a cut. I think maybe they bait people and say like, oh, we're looking into keeping 1 cut by the end of the year. I think it'll be vague again. But it's like, if they didn't cut last time and nothing's really changed, then why would they cut now? Qs are holding up. Remember, the Qs to go down need Nvidia to go down. It's bigger than Apple. They need Apple and Nvidia are the two whole. Look at this. Apple, Nvidia. Apple, Nvidia. Scroll up. Apple, Nvidia. Apple, Nvidia. Those are 2 things holding the Qs up right now. That might happen, John. We're just mainly, that's all that we're saying is speculation. We just want to pay attention and react to what is happening. And mostly not even reacting to the data itself, more so reacting to how people react to the data, how the market reacts to the data, right? We see those things curling up, we see those things curling down after the data comes out. Okay, that's what we're doing. AMC so far at a nothing day, I'm going to tell you right now, here's my opinion on AMC and GME. The days that he tweets, nothing's going to happen. The days that he doesn't have more potential. I know that's weird to say these days, but if he's scared of some kind of insider trade, some kind of market manipulation, then it would actually be a day where he does nothing, that something big happens, or he just quietly executes his contracts. Bouncing up right now, 15-minute trying to go positive, 30-minute here for GME, still curling down. AMC trying to curl up here. Very, very good. This is where you have a chance, but it does look flaggy, so be careful. Nvidia, not seeing the most strength. Tomorrow I feel, yeah, exactly. See, it's good to highlight the words, right, John? I feel something will happen. But you don't take trades based on that. Maybe you take longer out positions because certain things are crossing over, right? And then you say, oh, if it's a move, at least I'll lose a bunch because I have a longer out position, right? 2 hour crosses over, you're like, okay, we're at least going to see a pullback here. But then you just say, okay, if tomorrow we get good news, okay, I know if that curls up, I know that that's not going to be the moment. But maybe we do something like this. But the fact that XLU has never really rebounded here, and maybe it's creating a stronger base right now, right? Maybe right now it's trying to create that stronger base, but because it's positive, it's like right in positive territory. So if that goes like this, okay, but you'd have to see a massive move from XLU. You'd have to see a massive move from XLU. Tesla still going, still going, still going. This is why I said this here is going to see a big move. Look at all that liquidity in there. Did it not go crazy? Nvidia, 15 minutes. Screw you, 15 minute. This is all we need to see. Now the hourly might be good to watch here. Actually, it's probably close to the center line. See if that curls up. Okay, another move. But if we start to confirm some big signals here, going negative, that'd be a big deal. If we can start to curl over the daily, that'd be a big deal. We might head down towards this area. AMD still crossed over. There you go. That's why we do not mess with a stock that is crossed on its MACD, right? Look at that. Daily momentum starting to take over, breaking through the little channel here. Maybe we want to reach towards this zone. Heading towards the weekly expected move right now, though. Right now, I think it's like at it right now. Let me see. Ooh, yeah, it's like at its weekly expected move right now. Oh, fantasy, I don't want to fall asleep, yeah. SMCI turning down. Look, glad you risk managed. You could have lost a lot more in this move, and now it's curling down on a 30-minute MACD for SMCI. So your risk management was still good to you. You dipped down lower. Now you just want to see if that rotates back up. But right now, turning down, very close to the center line. Possible lower high here. We want to look at this, a 2 hour. Yeah, see, and now the 2 hour can cross over. We can head lower. Ooh. Looked like it wanted to cross up, just because it looks like it wants to cross up right here. 2 hour curled down. See that 30-minute, it probably just dropped off. Look at that, negative territory. This is why you need to wait and see those divergences and things like that, because this looks like flagging. There's no divergence when this happened and it curled up. That's why I wait for divergences. Gold holding up a little bit better than everything else. I think it has a 2 hour divergence down here, another point across the way. So multiple point divergences at these levels. And now what are we going to see? Well, if that curls up, positive move can come. Oil bursted through this level. Very good build back. But the 4 hour, because we do this in the futures, right? So 4 hour curls down, that wouldn't be good. But now you have the opportunity, 2 hour pullback, curl back up. Bitcoin looking ugly. Daily divergence taken over for Bitcoin. We mentioned it multiple times. We're like, you got to be careful with daily divergences. Look at that 4 hour divergence, actually. Look how clear that is. Look how clear that is. This could be a big drop. It's bullshit every day, you know, tell me, because my demons are notoriously rage. AMC going back to negative now, negative 0.42%. GME, negative 7.8%. Tesla trying to use that previous low over here. It's trying to use this low to get some kind of buying in. We're still not at the weekly expected move though. We can go a little bit lower. Like a rat trapped in a maze, every wall that I knock down is just a wall that I replace. I'm in a race against myself. I try to keep a steady pace. If I lose my clays, ooh, Qs. Qs do not look that weak though. That's the bad part. But 2 hour telling you, it's saying weakness. You have Apple keeping it up, and it's just Apple now. It's literally just Apple keeping this up. Maybe a couple little stocks, but Apple is keeping this thing higher. Everything is rigged. One stock is keeping you higher right now. They don't like me. I think you're going to see a lot of behavior like this. Oh, Apple starts to crash, Nvidia goes up. Nvidia starts to go down, all the other stocks go down, Nvidia and Apple go up. All the stocks go down, Nvidia goes up. All the stocks go down, Apple goes up. I think you're going to see a lot of that. Just know this, it's going even higher. Even higher. The Dow? Jesus, man. Oh, I'm on a 1 hour. Jesus, that is just curling now. That's a ugly look. The truth that they also found. It does. It does. But the reason that we know this is because, look at this. So usually during the day, so see how this is during the day, you'll see this. That's insider, that's maybe retail buying or maybe insiders buying, right? But notice it's much smaller. It's always overnight we see these big moves. Overnight we see these big moves, okay? So that's what we have to pay attention to. Because this is during the day. And then this is aftermarket. This is aftermarket. This was aftermarket. Now this is this morning. But the big signal is the dailies cross up. I'd be very cautious. 0.91 PCC, not even that high. Still paying attention to the signals. 2 hour crossing over does mean a likely pullback, but you got an hour and a half left in the bar. I usually wait at least an hour into the bar before making a decision. What the fuck, Apple is right. Now look at this. Everything on the right is red except for Apple. They're using Apple to keep the market afloat. Very important to understand, like everything is red. You have AMD down 2%. You have Tesla down 3.45%. But Apple's higher. It is the only thing holding the Qs up. And Nvidia. It looks like Google is trying to go positive here as well. So you got it's just a couple little stocks. Just a couple little stocks. GME? It's a small bounce, so you still need, you're not even positive, but you are seeing green finally. You need that to go positive, then you can say, oh, maybe it targets 41.17 if that goes positive, right? But it's not even close to going positive yet, guys. Look how far away that is. It needs to do some work here. Probably get up to a past 30, and then we can head towards 41.17. SMCI told you this morning pretty early on that the 30-minute was crossing down. There's your 30-minute cross down. Now we want to pay attention to the rigged move back up. If that 15-minute curls back up, might head up to the sell zone. We're still within the zone. You need to make a new low to confirm that, right? We need the 2 hour to cross over to confirm like more downside. Kind of like Tesla. Tesla confirmed that at the end of yesterday. Now it's ripping to the downside. Why is it down big? Because the 2 hour was able to go negative. Because the trap is set. The reason Tesla is going down big is because you built up a ton of liquidity. Therefore, once you break through one of these traps, you're going to see a big move. There's the big move. We said that right before the open when we talked about Tesla. We were like, I'd be careful with this because you can see a big move up because you built a ton of liquidity, but you can also see a big move down. Now, is this move going to be rigged? Are we going to be able to break this low? Everything is up to interpretation. The 2 hour crossed over yesterday. Boom, downside, awesome. Now you want to see if this 30-minute crosses up, but we're getting deeper and deeper into negative territory, and we're not at the daily expected or the weekly expected move yet. AMC, solid bounce now. Okay, almost up 1%. I say solid bounce, it's like 1%. Which is what? 4.7 cents. AMC is up. GME trying to bounce here as well. Let me get Twitter up too. I just want to stay aware if something's going to happen. Alright, I gotta get off of this Post Malone thing. I don't... My father was a drinker. And one day he came home crazier than usual. Uh-oh. 30-minute cross-up. Boom. AMC looks better. GME is supposed to release info today. And a lot of big calls came in after market. So it's surprising it's heading way down, actually. Any more than 20 years, so fucking fine. Let's see if someone goes see, are the headlines saying buy Apple? Buy Apple, buy Google. That's what it's gonna say. Good move though from AMC. Let's watch this for a little bit. It'd be nice to see a higher time frame. The 2 hour right by the center line, that curls up. It could be the moment, man, but that's gonna take a while to happen. That could take all day. Oh, thank you. Do you want this bread?
No, extra piece of bread for any that falls out.
Oh, okay. You can close that door up there too if you want.
Okay.
Thank you. Never watches anymore than 7 years, so fucking fun. Tesla's starting to see a little bit of a bounce. Just barely. Trying to hold that last support, really. It's down towards that weekly expected move, but I really think it would get there. This might be like a 5-minute bounce. So Tesla's like 5 points away from its weekly expected move. Down in these levels somewhere. That's very oversold. I'm expecting a 5-minute bounce. Look how deep the 5-minute is. See how the 5 minutes really deep? So if you curl up to the center line, curl down, then we can create a stronger base, but... Bruce? What are you doing? Don't knock my stuff. Now, Mary, forgive me, blood for blood. Dollar's still higher, guys, even if there's buying. That's not the best time. PCC going to 0.88. If that keeps going down, we'll see the rug pull. If that goes below 0.8, below 0.7, somewhere in there, we might see a rug pull. TLT seeing a bounce back up. Apple screaming higher. Wants to get maybe to its weekly expected move all the way at 204. Now we're seeing some stuff start to flash green. Netflix, Google, Meta, Nvidia, and Apple. But my goodness, AMC, there you go. See the hourly? You just want to see if these bigger time frames are curling up. They're closer to the center line. So even the hourly here is a good look. See how it's right by this center line? Good move. GME as well, good move. If that curls up, center line's there. It's back up, it was down 7%. Now it's only down 3. They're supposed to release some info today, so I'm going to stay aware of that. And yes, it's a sandwich. Yes, it's a sandwich. She makes Japanese egg sandwiches. We love Japan. We love Japan. We like Japanese culture. Shit. These are so good, too. These are like, if you look on YouTube and you see like the street shops, they make these, and they're so good. Right now, the chance for a short squeeze with GME, as I have to talk based on these indicators, my opinion's my opinion, it's just an opinion, right? So you have to take it with a grain of salt, but your indicators, I can tell you exactly what they're saying. Right now, GME, in order to see a moment for some kind of squeeze, well, you'd need at least an hourly to go positive here. You need the 30 minutes to go positive, but I really like 2 hours, so I would say if the 2 hour crosses up, we might see a little sneeze. But then we'll pay attention to the signals for downside. Crash indicator is crashing. Hourly charts. Not fun hourly charts. Come on now. Crazy. See how the 30 minutes not positive for AMC? That needs to be positive. But this is a good sign. It's a good sign. It just looks like egg, but it's like egg and Japanese mayo and other stuff. It's great. It's one of my favorite things. It's so good. It's like a hard-boiled egg, well, soft-boiled egg Japanese mayo sandwich, and it's like phenomenal, and it has like butter and stuff too. It's so good. This is step one. Remember last time we talked about these big moves? This big move here. Step one, 30-minute crosses. Step two, you get above the center line. Step three, you break through resistance. And then step four now would be we close above 633. That would cause them some fucking pain. I think it is cube pie mayo. I don't know. It's like a big bottle with a red top, and it just looks like yellowy white stuff. I don't know. I don't buy it. She does the grocery shopping around here. Well, and here's the thing, like, the calls on AMC were very, very cheap. You could have taken, done like I did like a few weeks ago and taken a month out position. That's what I did. Month out position was cheap still. I think I bought it for like 15 bucks a contract or 20 bucks a contract at like, I think it was like $9 or something. It was like my YOLO play right there. Okay. Yeah, you couldn't complete any divergence here. That's a bad sign. Daily rolling negative here. That's not a good sign for that. Alright, 30 minute. Starting to cross up, finally, for GME. So now, I wouldn't be as mad at people. I wouldn't be as mad at people because at least your indicator is saying a bullish, contrarian bullish signal. It's still bearish territory, right? And you're far away from the center line, so it's not the best argument for a sneeze, but if this could like pop and drop and do this, then you'd get closer, and that would be a better look. But for now, that is a signal of some kind of bounce. That is what the indicator is telling you. But remember, it's a rigged stock, guys. Very sketchy. No real divergences here. If you were hoping to, this thing goes long, well, 15-minute curls up, that might be with you. But we said this morning, 30-minute cross down, someone saying, I sold my position right up here. I was like, hey, that's not a bad choice. It's being risk managed. Your indicator is telling you to be risk managed. Very good. And then if that turns back around, you got it. But I would be a little bit sketched because look at the 2 hour. Does that look like a great look for a 2 hour chart? No, it looks like a weird head and shoulders too on the 2 hour. Doesn't that look like a weird head and shoulders in here? Well, you got the lower high. If you start to break down, Let's go like that. Boom. If this crosses over, that means negativity. Oh, AMC. AMC, what are you doing? Did that hourly curl up? Yo, if this hourly curls up for AMC, that's a good move. You need that hourly to curl up. Why? It's closer to positive territory. That's why this hourly matters. We'll see. There's probably a halt coming. It's not a 5% move yet, so. Right when this thing hits 5%, I bet there's a halt. I bet money. If it goes up 5%, there's going to be a halt. Yeah, AMC and GME are in tandem. They have the same algorithm keeping them down right now. I think AMC is the sleeper. I actually think AMC is the bigger one. But that's just all opinion. There's a little bit of data to support that, but overall, that's just an opinion because I feel like they were closer to job being done. They want this to go to 0, and it's at 491. That's closer to 0 than 2449. And they're like, oh, and Roaring Kitty's not messing with it. So, like, this one here might be the good one. But you would say, according to Roaring Kitty, GME is the one that he believes in, he's investing in. Buy starting to get that rig move. Sorry, I'm talking with food in my mouth. I'm sorry. That 15-minute curl up. Remember, we're still below the daily expected move. We can use it as resistance, but the Q's not being below, worrisome. We go react to that level, and then we start to bounce up. So this looks like there's probably another rigged move in it because they're seeing a bounce in AMC, and now they need to take some more money away from people. I bought both. So, so if you didn't know, Citadel, a market maker, came out and they said, by the way, Tom, this is for you. They said, we have changed our algorithm. We made an algorithm that was made by rocket scientists that kind of levels out the puts and calls. So if people get overly bearish and they don't want the market to crash, and there's a put, like a lot of puts or something like that, then the algorithm will see calls are cheaper and shoot price the other way. And if you think about that for a second, and it happens the opposite way as well. So if too many people get to the call side and they want to make money and puts are cheaper, then they would pull the market down to kind of fake people out. And it helps out their buddies who have big pockets. So what you need to understand from all that is it's really bad for retail. It's just really bad for retail because it just follows what retail does. They buy 0 DTE puts and calls. Like say this morning at a 0.91, okay? We knew that yesterday at the end of the day, CPC said 0.68. So a drop here, it would hurt a lot of retail. Now we have a PCC going to 0.91, so a lot more puts coming in. So what are they going to do? Maybe they bounce it for a second. Whoa. 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 Good moves. Great moves. So here's something key. If this is going to be the real move, then this 15-minute will not go negative again. That is very key to understand. This is why we said here, you're in a pullback, downside is the most likely thing. And then everyone wants 0 DT and it frustrated me. I'm like, you got no signal until now and until now. If this can go positive, just know the 15-minute, if you're going to see a sneeze, if it ever curls back down, that means that's going to pull back and they're fighting it. Look at that. Look at these halts coming in. Fucking scummy. Now let's look. Sometimes we're seeing rigged moves like people actually having to buy, so We'll see if we get the rig move down once this all unhalts. So Tom, hopefully that helps, but overall they created an algorithm that can read what retail is doing in real time, and if people get overzealous to the put side, they just make it go up. If people get overzealous to the call side, they just make it go down. Because the algorithm can perfectly read like what's the cheapest thing to do right now. I can't say I feel like anything. That's not the best. We could always have a pullback opportunity, but look at the divergences here. Great setup. It's a 5-minute though. It takes a long time for that stuff to form, and it can be rigged against you on a 5-minute. But I would say just pay attention. If there's another pullback, you're going to see a 15-minute cross back down. You're going to see a 15-minute cross back down. Yeah, Tom. That's the very basic understanding there. And so what we're trying to do is watch where that algorithm will go next. That's what we do on this channel. We pay attention to momentum and how to manage your risk. Exactly the truth. All right, let's see. I'm gonna wait for 1 minute, and then where is it? Because Wall Street's not open technically. Toronto, man. Who just asked for something? I can't see. Oh, Kunik, I'll check Lyft after. I just want to see if there's a rigged move for a GameStop. Apple topping tail? Fucking scum, dude. We knew they were using Apple to hold the market up. It's so obvious. They don't want to trigger the algorithm, so they'll use one stock to hold the market up. Everything on my screen is red, except for Apple up 3%. Come on. All right, we got 2 seconds. Let's see. Oh, they're still halting it. I did not short Apple the second time. I don't have faith in this market right now, so I did not short Apple the second time. That's why I'm not like too afraid of it, but I'm like, I see it sucks. That's where you gotta know, like, we've said it multiple times, Miles saying like, I'm just not gonna trade for a while. That was kind of my decision. I was like, I'm not gonna trade this shit. All right, let me go look at Lyft real quick. Because Kunik was asking. No, that's a 5-minute. We don't want to look at that. Oh, that does not look pretty right now. No, this is not looking good. Unless you confirm a daily, I just don't think this looks very good yet. It could form something in the future. Maybe in a couple days we'll look back, but I just want to see the rigged move, damn it. See, it's going to take longer. They need their buddies to be able to apply more shorts here. Apply them, bitches. The price will only go higher. I think you're right, Sabrina. Does say they use Nvidia to hold market up as Apple was way down. Yeah, well, they used a lot of different stocks so that the market go higher. The big thing is the dollar. It's still down, right? Or it's still up. Sorry. Oh shit! It just opened up. All right, a little bit of a gap higher, and now look. Oh yeah. Oh, it's all buying before that. Watch. Let's see if it's able to buy up. We'll see how much money they have to force it down. Let's see how much money you put in this, bitch. Bro, I was reading on Twitter, even more so now, people are like, if they rig this against me, I'm burning shit to the ground. I was like, I wouldn't put that on Twitter, dude. Yeah, right when this this opened back up, my most metal song started to play. Pulled the trigger, give a bullet to a stranger. There, I played it for a second. Great timing. Because this is a battle, capture this. No, I was listening to fruity good boy music all morning and then this just played on a playlist, but I like it. This is the hardest song I listen to, probably, but we'll do it again.
Demon designer, the opposite of a divine. No! The hell is in front of you, setting behind. I can feel every sign of a human decline. Believe in the time.
Tech 9, baby. It's just on my playlist. I listen to it every day. GME? Well, GME halted, and GME halted not to help retail traders who want the stock to go up. GME halted so that it could give time to short sellers to make some kind of position to most likely force the stock down because they saw it was about to explode higher. That's what happened. But eventually they'll run out of money. Or they're just like I said, they're the beavers, we're the water, and and GME is the dam. We need to break through. Print more money, quick. Jerome Powell, daddy save me. Daddy save me, Jerome Powell, I'm gonna lose my billions. Yeah, that's because they're making the premium of calls higher. Probably so like people like us can't, you know, like it's more expensive for us to take positions. That, and the other way you could look at it is maybe they're having to buy those positions because we did see those spikes in price up to like $40. If you go look on Twitter, you'll see those spikes in price to $40 in the aftermarket. And people thought things are glitching, but the truth there is trading is happening at higher levels. This is just the number they're showing you. So that's why I said yesterday, I was like, we don't know what the price of any stock is technically then. If price hits VWAP and rejects, perfectly fine. Oh God, no. You guys want to see? I have the shakiest. Was that good? No. Here, I'll try to do it quick. Is that good? I can't tell you what it would hit today. That's impossible. GME has been a self-destructive move for the company. Incorrect. Actually, if anything, a company that maybe doesn't have the best revenue stream, that's kind of getting fizzled out, if they were able to make billions and billions of dollars to change the whole company, that would be a good thing. And guess what? They just did that offering. They're going to make $7 billion. They're going to make $7 billion. So you have a company that, you know, its revenue is only like, what, a couple billion or something like that, maybe? And then you say, oh, now it's a company that's sitting on $12 billion cash. The price of the stock would be higher. Exactly, Carlos. I like it. Oh, yeah, if this rotates down, so 5 minute, it's the same thing on a 5 minute. If that rotates down, that means downside. No, it's not halted anymore. It's only when it moves up by 5%. Every single time it moves by 5%, it's going to halt. Somewhere around 5%, it will halt. Look at this. So 10% here, but you notice this bar right here, 4.2, 4.79, boom, 5% from the bottom right here. So when it moves that fast in 5 minutes, it will Actually, that halted before 5% technically on this 5-minute bar. Maybe it's a 15-minute window. If it's a 15-minute window, 7.69%, that makes sense to halt. It makes sense to halt based on what the halts do and what they are. It doesn't make sense to halt the stock at all. It should be a free market system. Fuck your halts. It should be let the stock do what the stock wants to do. Let's see, we gotta watch these hourlies actually. This is pretty important. If these hourlies can turn up today, that is a good sign. I'm cussing too much. My music's making me cuss too much. B Ned. I like Barnes and Noble. I say that every time. This thing's being pushed. Can you look at this? Wow. Wow. Yeah, but it's if people can hold that stock. That's the thing. These I still never know they're hypnotized. 120 million. That's just what you see. That's just what they want you to see. Look at GME. This one's crazy. Friday. Now their shorts look good. Now they're worried the stock's gonna bounce. That's just what you see though. Notice AMC had 120 million the other day, right here, when GME had 30 million. I think AMC is a bigger. I think they have a bigger short position on it. It was closer to the job being done. But now we'll see if this thing reports. Right. This was Monday. Tuesday we'll get the updated data, so we'll see what happens here. But for now, the hourly crossing up would be a great sign, guys. I'm just telling you right now. That's the indicators saying it. The indicators, I'm just reading them for you. The hourly turns up, goes positive, that means a good thing. That's so crazy. You had that many viewers. OBLG, what's OBLG? Oblong? Oh, it's a penny thing, but hourly curls up if it goes positive, that's cool, but penny stocks, you can't really do too much analysis, but you notice every time the hourly curls up, positive move. That's it. Same thing with AMC. It's the same analysis across the board. If hourlies, now hourlies are very important. 2 hours are the most important, but if hourlies can turn up, they're right by positive territory. That's all you need to know across the board. BNED, FFIE, GME, AMC, whatever the hell else. So like, if I had a little amount of money and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like a little bit, I need a reason to take the trade, and your indicator is what I'm telling you, right? I'm just telling you how to read the indicator. I'm telling you to use the indicator to make decisions. This bar right here, even though it was down, said possible bounce. This bar right here said possible bounce. That would tell me if I wanted to, you know, make money quick and I have a small amount of money, I need to learn how to do this, because this bar told me to do something. It said, hey, upside potential, still in a pullback because you're in negative territory. If that can cross the center line, go, go, go. But as of right now, this would be the point to say, hey, at least I have a reason for upside here. Right? Find a reason for upside and then believe in your indicator. I'm just voicing what the indicator is telling you. This right now says bounce. If it crosses through the zero line, that says potential for bullish move, right? Because this is bullish, this is bearish. Right now we're in bearish, but we are in a contrarian bull signal. Until that crosses that center line, then it would be bullish. This is why I'm talking about the hourly. Look how close it is. So if you get that to cross up, you're immediately going to be in a bullish trend. That's why I think the hourly is very important for this. It's very important for this. But look, they did the job. They did the job. What did they do during the halt? They applied short positions. You really think that retail sold this? You really think retail's selling this? Retail owns 95% of GME and like 98% of AMC. So really, you think this is retail? No, at the halt, they applied short positions. It's very obvious. It's obvious manipulation in real time, right there. Now, 5 minutes positive, that's a good sign, but those see pullbacks all the time, right? Pullbacks all the time. It needs to remain positive. That's why I really want this hourly to cross, man. What's the market doing? Trying to bounce. Look, it wasn't able to close below here, so the 2 hour was able to cross. It's crossing still. You got an hour left. 15-minute crosses up. That's not going to be the moment. Qs, 15-minute crosses up. That's not going to be the moment. And you could see a bigger move here. That's very important to understand because we've been sideways for a while. Boom, we can head higher. So 30-minute crosses up, you can see a bigger move. You see how we have room on the RSI, we have room on the MACD to create a divergence. We could head up towards weekly expected move. We could go all the way up to 473 for the Qs. SPY, these don't have to behave correctly. That's what I'm saying. The market's rigged, so you have to always be paying attention to your risk. 30-minute curls up here. We built up liquidity. We got the fake out. We took out the stops. Job was done. Maybe we do this. Maybe we just do this. We just want to pay attention if we see anything like this, anything like this. That was very quick, but Dow even trying to bounce here too. We'll see if volatility is going to confirm that. I think we're going to see a rigged move. Okay, so I think we're going to see maybe a rigged move higher. I see the divergence on volatility. While I'm seeing a 30-minute, that might cross up in the SPY. So what am I doing to stay risk managed? I'm saying volatility is dropping off and the SPY might bounce there. So this divergence here is telling me, hey, maybe get out. Just my gut feeling is get out a little earlier. I am now out of my volatility play. If that curls all the way down like this, curls back up, I can be right back in. But for now, I'm being risk managed. I'm managing risk. G-Wave, any rude? That's probably not at all how you say it, but G-Wave's going to be similar, right? G-Wave's going to be similar. So G-Wave still, this thing is starting to die off fast. The reason it's going to die off fast is because the real ones are AMC and GME. If the hourly can go positive, that might be a good move, but these might go away because what's going to happen is they might have even traded this. Now they're making a bunch of money on it. And they might even reverse that into AMC and GME. Just know AMC and GME, when they pop, most likely a lot of these ones go away, and the main focus will be AMC and GME. Because I've seen the data for AMC, I've seen the data for GME. See that hourly is not able to cross. Let's go a little bit closer, 5-minute. If that crosses down, you're still right by negative territory. We can head lower. Let's see, 15-minute bars, let's see. They're just gonna trickle it down so no halts happen, watch. Just got your course, thank you so much for what you do. Did you use your credit, John, can I ask, did you use credit debit for that? I wanna make sure the payment processing is working, guys. Apparently the course has been fixed, they emailed me. Very vague email, but they were like, yeah, we'll pay you, and yeah, we'll fix the problem. So it should be fixed through PayPal. Okay, keep trying PayPal for now if the credit debit doesn't work, but I don't get what their problem is. Thank you for purchasing the course, though. I really do appreciate it. And Chief, thank you for joining the Patreon. I'm gonna keep the SPY up on my. I'm gonna keep the SPY up on my other screen because these are important to watch. They really are. Look at it. So this is interesting too. So notice that the halt comes and everything comes once the 15-minute is trying to go positive. The 15-minute goes positive, more positivity can come. So if this isn't able to break down, that's when we could see a good move. But remember, there's going to be halts. Every 5% move, there will be halts. So as long as this 15-minute doesn't cross down, you know that the direction is up. That is very key to understand, that your indicator is not confirming another downward move. Over here, it confirmed a pullback right here. Over here, right here, it confirmed a pullback right here. Pullback, pullback, pullback. Okay, negative territory, downward trend, downward trend. Now we're trying to go positive. That's a good sign, but you notice the halt comes, The suppression comes right as we're about to go positive. That is where the algorithm could take over in the other direction. The algorithm can work against them, and that's why they're short selling it so much. Once that gamma flips, and guess where gamma flips? Right here, 633. For this week. That will change it week by week, that will change. GME, similar thing, trying to go positive, then it gets suppressed. And they're not going to make it go down in 15 minutes by 5%. They're going to do little 1 to 3%, 1 to 4% so that it doesn't halt on the way down. That's what I would do. Tactical, it was a liquidity grab, trendline broken, triggered stop losses, and then ripped. Classic market. If AMC goes up again, GME will explode too. Oh yeah, both will, they're moving in tandem. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. They're like almost identical. What do you offer in your course? Just everything we talk about here, just more clear. We go in depth about like what's important about the MACD. Not necessarily like what's the definition. That's not important. It's what is inside it that I can use. Why is it important? How can I use it for trading? Right? That's what we mostly talk about. We do the same for the RSI. And then we teach you about weekly ranges and how to use those as well, what they are, because understanding what weekly ranges are is very important as well. And then we give you a trade setup that I've used. So my trading strategy for a volatile market, because I think we're going to go into a volatile market any day now. Apple's unstoppable. Yeah, the rigged move higher is getting more and more rigged. And now the calls are still trickling in just a little bit here. Apple's upward expected move somewhere around 204. Stressed out, paranoid. Ooh, coming into a line of resistance, but 204 to 205 is where the expected move would be, somewhere in there. XLU bouncing, not the best divergence though. 15-minute divergence for a double bottom for XLU. Yeah, I think SPY makes the move higher. I'm glad I managed my risk. Suicidal, why in tragic state of mind? Halo, suicidal, tragic state of mind. That's a big move, but 204 is where that resistance can start coming in. Technically, it could come in now. Let's see these. Big moves here. So yeah, it's always when they want the move to happen, it'll stay below 5% and keep trickling up. They play the algorithm perfectly. The emptiness is everything. Nvidia. Nvidia. You gonna keep dropping Nvidia? What you doing? See, it's always, if Nvidia's gonna go down, the way they could rig it even more, make a couple stocks go up to hold the SPY and the Qs. Seems to be the problem here. Look for the daily to cross over. That's what I'm waiting for. Once that daily crosses over, I'll probably take out a 2-month position for volatility. Just see what happens. Hasn't crossed over for TLT. Something is coming. Something is coming. I'm interested in this bar. See how we're very close to crossing on the MACD. RSI starting to hit that center line as well. So this is all good things. The indicator saying if I can cross up here, this is the lagging one. If the RSI goes above it, that's a good start. That's your leading indicator mostly right here. And then your price action is going to be the most leading with this bar, and this bar right here. But GME, same thing. You need that hourly to cross up. It's not looking as good. That's why we're looking at AMC. Which means they're probably forcing this one down even more. They're more scared of this one right now. So I think it's nice. They're not paying attention to AMC as hard. I love it. Don't play with things. If you want to use those indicators that are same as for classic trading, how could you have traded that Apple move right now? So that is a risk management move, and this is understanding the environment that we're in. So the reason I did not reapply this position. So the first time that this showed up was right here. This is where I took the position, and then this is where I got out of the position, and then this is where I got back in the position, and this is where I took profit because I thought a rigged move was happening. Okay, so this right here, I figure a rigged move's happening. Here's the 15-minute. Yeah, that crossed up right here, so I should know 100% to be out of that right there. Risk management will keep you from getting screwed. Every move is rigged. That's why risk management is very important, and we teach that in the course as well. It's the last video of the course. Okay, but you have to understand the environment. So we had a lot of people this week saying, this looks like a mess to me. Every stock looks like a mess to me. I'm not trading. And I go, perfect. That is the best risk management move right there. Just be patient. Just be patient. Because like, look, has this, like, be patient, look for a bigger signal, the daily. This one's going to be a little harder to rig. You're going to see downside of some kind if that crosses over. Now, if the rig moves there, the 2 hours is going to cross up around here. So all you do is you say, let me pay attention to a bigger time frame. Then you still have to pay attention to how you can get screwed. But we know that the reason I'm saying bigger signals are better is because the daily, the dollar is bottomed heavy. The dollar bottomed all the way back in December, right? Way back here. Now it bottomed again. That's insider selling, buddy. Insider selling, buddy. Volatility rejecting as of right now. So we have a recipe here. No one saw this coming. This is a rigged move to keep the stock market higher. This is a rigged move to keep the stock market higher. Now it's creating another point of divergence. I would watch out at these levels. I don't think so. I'm not tricked by this, man. Now, am I trading this? No, I don't think the setup is good anymore. Yeah, Paulina, it's hard. That's why I highly encourage during the course, I say like practice, 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 because the environment we're in now is very hard to practice in. It's very hard to practice, especially with real money, because this environment is just awful. So like your best indication is find something that you would like to maybe invest in for a while. Maybe you want to find something to invest in for a while. What do we talk about with investing? We're going to add that to the course soon. We're going to add an investing part. Oh, well, this monthly curled up for AMC. Maybe that's a good one. GME, the monthly turned up for GME right here. Maybe that's going to be a good investment. We'll see. That's the MACD telling you that. The MACD's telling you that. AMC curled up on the MACD again right here. This bar right here said this is a good investment at $67, and boy, oh boy, was it. And investing keeps you away from options too, which is a good thing. Because options early on, very difficult because time is against you. But if you can get good at just trading it regular, with just like buying and selling shares, that's great. Options, time can hurt you. Bummer, hit them, burn it up and throw a tantrum. Hot girl bummer, not hot girl summer. Don't tell me I'm doing that. See if this is able to curl up. Yeah, so if you're just starting out and you're like, this market's ripping me apart, it's like, you know, a lot of people out there just do this. Scale in. Cool. If that goes to $10, I make what? 20%, 10.50, 20%? Cool, I could make that in maybe a couple of weeks. That'd be cool. That's what you more want to do early on. That's what I used to do. And if I make a bunch of money, if I finally get to the point that I'm looking to get to, then I will stop doing options. I say exactly what I'm talking about. What about taking options year out? Still cheaper than stocks. You can. You can. It's fine. You can. And that'll just be like, okay, I'm just going to go away. And I know that the monthly signal looks bad. And okay, there you go. You just hope that there's not a rigged move. You might want to pay attention to like a weekly chart, see if that's ever curling back up. Right now, you're not seeing that. Right now, you're seeing weekly weakness. Like, does this look great up here? No. I understand a year out, you just want to see if that weekly goes like this, and if that curls back up, you go, okay, maybe not. Then it goes like this, then it curls down, you go, okay, back into it. But it'll keep you from sitting in front of a computer all day. Yesterday was really wonky. So what did I do yesterday? After I got off live, I ate some lunch. My wife came home. And then after that, what did we do? Well, baby girl was over at Abuela's house, so we went for a walk. We went and walked and got a pop from the pop machine, and we just walked around. We enjoyed the sun. I didn't look at stocks at all. And then I came back with like 45 minutes to close, and I started paying attention. And I said, wow, AMC curled up on a 30-minute. I went, wow, that's crazy. Multiple brokers are down. Yeah, so if you have 500K, stop. Like we always say, the slow way is the fast way. If you have enough money, you don't need to do options at all. Play daily signals. Enjoy your life. If you have 500K, you'll probably still make like, what? If you just do these little things on daily charts on like one stock, you'll probably still make like 10 to 20% a year. That's 50 grand, 100 grand a year. That's what I'm kind of waiting to get to. So, ooh, we got to see if hourly's, oh God, this is going to halt soon, isn't it? Oh God, dang it. This is going to halt soon. If we see a big move now, it's going to halt. That's only 1.4%, but. Shokava? Is that Oh, I thought that was Carvana. Oh. Oh. Oh, good 2-hour cross up in positive territory. Solid. Solid. If that can break through, that'd be better, but you're kind of in just a channel. You see the channel? So you crossed up, that's a good sign. You're trying to go positive, that's a good sign. Now you want to see, because this can roll up dailies. See, the daily just confirmed down. You could be still in a further pullback. So on the 2-hour here, I actually like this for a swing trade, though. But your MACD is telling you upside as of right now on the 2-hour. Now, pay attention. 30 minutes are going to be like this. So if that 30-minute crosses down, you know that's not the moment, right? You could even be like, I'll take a chance if this 30-minute crosses over, I'm out. But this is where it's like options versus buying the shares. 2-hour crosses up, awesome. I make 5-6% maybe. Okay, but if this crosses down on a 30-minute, it goes down to here. What do I lose? I only lose 5%. If this was an option and this crosses down to here and that goes down 5%, you're gonna lose 20% instead of 5%. That's how options are scarier. And all my friends don't give a fuck. AMC halted? No way. Why? Why? No, it's not. No way. Why? What? This is so dumb. There's no way. Yeah, I was like, no, it's not. It just had a lag between it. But the fact that I had a lag between the bar is very interesting. Okay, it's just moving slow. But it did have a lag between the next bar, which is interesting. Oh, they definitely sell. Well, they don't have to sell the stop loss information. Actually, yeah, they kind of do. But technically, your market makers are tied in directly with your brokerages. So like E-Trade and all those kinds of things. They're tied in almost directly. So there you go. Fake news. When AMC and GME move, it's going to be huge. If it's halted, that means the stock moved by more than 5%, like quickly. I think it's within a 15-minute time frame or something like that. So right here, this little frame in here, it moved by more than 5%. That's why people like the night market, because you don't see those halts as often. Yeah, it's just, I think I have the basic. I like the basic. I mean, 12, 26, 9, close, EMA. And then RSI, 14, 14, 2. SMA, close. Close is important. Really, the main signal though, hourly turns up. My MACD is gonna tell me buy some, but we'll see. That's what the MACD says, man. That's how you read the MACD. It hasn't crossed yet though. Gotta be patient. Did this cross over? There you go. So I'm glad I got out of this play. Now the SPY might pop. There you go. It happens all the time. Q's going positive. Here we go. 0.89 put call ratio. Good morning, Mr. Win. Oh, they're scared, Sabrina. They're scared. Apple squeezing. Yeah, Apple's the manipulated one right now. A lot of people shorted most likely down here. That's the algorithm at work, most likely. Use TradingView desktop or just the web? I just do the website. I have the TradingView app on my phone. Yeah, we can check the S&P. I'm scared the 30 minutes going to cross up here because volatility is starting to look like it's going to cross down. So that tells me like maybe the SPY is going to curl up. And I know the market's like kind of rigged right now. And now the dollar might taper down because you're going to see maybe like buying from retail into this move in the SPY. And then it might rip away because the dollar is way higher than 3 days ago and the SPY is still way higher. Volatility will be a hint here if this crosses over that the SPY might see a pop. I'm not really familiar with H11. I'm more familiar with the LULD, L-U-L-D. We can look at the Qs. Qs look like the move higher, but I think this is all going to be bait. They can head higher, but look for the divergence again, because if we create that soon, that would be a good sign. But we could extend this for some time. The market's going to be really, really messed up until the AMC and GME problem picks a direction, really. We need this hourly to cross. Let's watch this hourly for a sec. The only thing with the Qs that you really have to pay attention to, like if I was trying to take a position here, is if it confirms daily divergence. If it confirms daily divergence, I know. Now, if I wanted to get in early, that's when I would pay attention to a 30-minute crossing over, right? And it already crossed, but this is sideways price action. So if I see a pop and a drop, if I see this actually go negative, that's when I would be like, okay, the daily has a good shot to cross over now. It's a very small range, so you know there's just, this is market makers saying we have no liquidity. We have to put all our liquidity towards AMC and GME. They have to put all of their liquidity towards the short selling. Look at the volume. Look at the volume down here. It's freaking tiny again. It's freaking tiny again. They can't do it. You know the market makers are in trouble. They're having liquidity issues. So if this crossover, same thing with the SPY, but the Qs have it as well. That crossover, bad news bears. Performance of the last 5 years. This looks likely. When you cry. Actually, more likely might be like sitting in this room playing Russian roulette. I want to see if the VIX can give me a hint here. Look at there's no money moving here. This is how you know like your money does not hit the tape. It's all controlled by algorithms. It's all controlled by the derivative market. And all the derivatives are in jeopardy here. 0.87 put call ratio right now. XLU turned down here. Crossover on the 30-minute. Not a good sign for the stock market. Apple screaming higher. Screaming higher. Screaming higher. 204 to 205. Somewhere in there. Down a notch. McDonald's? Oh, I'm down. Right now, you're in a 2-hour pullback. That's awesome. This was a great move. This is why it's like, okay, I got to pay attention to if this is just a pullback. If the 2-hour crosses back up, positivity can be there. Right now, you're not necessarily seeing that. The 30-minute, it's still a little far away from negative territory, or from positive territory, from the center line. But you do have 30-minute divergence here. So this is like your MACD saying, hey, there's a chance here for a move up. But then I want to pay attention if that can actually go positive or if that's just going to roll right back down. I think like 204.50 for Apple would be my level. Uh-oh. Meta, are you gonna give up? Or are we gonna rig this thing all day? What are we gonna do, man? Are we gonna make the market as boring as possible? Seems like it. It can't. It can't. They have liquidity issues right now, like on their end, not in the charts. For now, take this down a notch. Crash my car to your window. I saw them live like a month ago. Escape the Fate. And they had it's called Emo Orchestra. They had a whole like orchestra behind them. It was awesome. What up, John? I don't know what happens with those. I'm just trying to follow the charts as closely as possible. Like, here's the other thing. Like, they don't want to sell off because of AMC and GME. Maybe they use a piece of data to be like, oh, the market needs to sell off, and then they convince you to go to the put side just to rip it from you one more time. It's going to be a wild stock market. Yeah, so him saying that, he probably has insider info. So what I would say is maybe we see a pullback soon that frees people to go to the put side very dramatically, and then that thing just rips back up. That would be my inclination. Risk management for the Qs, by the way, would be the 2-hour confirming the upward move. Like, this hasn't even crossed over. So technically, the 2-hour would never have told you to take the play yet. You got to learn how to stop front running stuff. This has not crossed over. All right, very important. Now, 30-minute, it can give you a hint by making a divergence up here. We'll see. Because right now we move sideways. We have room to the RSI to head up. We have room on the MACD to head up to create some divergence. But if that divergence isn't formed, isn't confirmed, there's still no reason. Turner, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. This is where it comes to. We're seeing the crash signals in front of us. We think, we feel it should happen, but it's not proving in the charts yet. Now the SPY, a little bit different, but the 2-hour trying to build back up. We'll see if that's able to cross, but we know there might be one more rig move if this 30-minute crosses up. There's no reason for the trade. Right now, it makes sense. It's trying to go negative. Yeah, my teenage years. Oh yeah, OG emos. So Hawthorne Heights did the emo orchestra last year here in my town, and this year it was Escape the Fate, and they were fantastic. When you look at 2-hour chart crossover, do you need to wait for the 2-hour candle to complete? Yes, but most of the time, that's why if I'm looking for a 2-hour divergence, I look for a 30-minute divergence behind it. Okay, so like say the Qs, right? So the reason I'm talking about the 30-minute here is because I know there's a 2-hour here. I know there's divergence, but I want to get a good entry that can get me in before that 2-hour bar confirms. So I would look for a 30-minute divergence. And what has not happened here, a 30-minute divergence. So if I see one more upward move, this would be a great trade setup. It goes boom, and then boom. I know that that would create a 30-minute divergence right here. Now this was a rejection divergence. Rejection divergence, I don't like those because they're not clear. People argue with TA, people will argue on YouTube that rejection divergences are stronger. I do not believe that. That is not my belief, but I like my setups to be very clear, and rejection divergence is not very clear. So this is what I'm waiting to see if this happens. If this happens, I have a great entry on the 30-minute, and I'll probably get in it before the 2-hour even crosses, right? And then I can just watch and make sure that it's not curling up again on a 30-minute. Yes, Bobby Lee. Yes. It's like looking at one time frame and saying, how could that time frame experience weakness? Well, this is the signal I look for weakness in a 2 hour. The signal I look for weakness in a 2 hour crossing over is a 30-minute. Like a weekly expected. Yeah, my weekly expected for AMD was, I think, let's see if ours matched up. Yeah, you're right. You calculated it correctly. You're spot on. It's about 158. Nice job. See, you can learn to calculate them for any stock that you're covering, but great job. Way to do it. You did the work. You went and found out how to do the calculation. You did it great. Great job. Alan, thank you so much for taking the course. Jabari, thanks for getting it last night. Really appreciate that. Now, what are people talking about on Twitter? Let's do some research here on Twitter. You know, the actual place where we can hear real people talk about what's going on. Twitter, take it with a grain of salt. Have you noticed that they don't halt? This person is actually a dark pool person that I follow. They said, notice how they do not halt GME when it's going down, only when it's going up. It is rigged. Wake me up. Okay, so here's the breaking. Yeah, this is what someone's talking about. TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab are reportedly down. Users are stating they can't log into their accounts since market open. This is probably to cause low liquidity in the market. They're probably just utilizing liquidity to force down AMC and GME. That's my opinion. False divergence. It's like, of course, there is a divergence after a major gap in the price. UPS? Where is it? On the, what time frame are you looking at? Good night to you at the bottom. PLTR, let's look at that while he's telling me what time frame. Weird. AMC and GME thing happens and everything goes bonkers. Everything starts to break. It's real. Palantir, good little flagging going on here. Was able to cross up and go positive with the divergence. This is what we were talking about in the past. Boom, there's a good point. Now, what will we probably see here? That's been a few days. So 2 hour pullback. Yeah, we're in a 2 hour pullback. So if the 2 hour can cross up, you might see more positivity. And then right now you see a little flag in the shorter price action there. So you can look at a 30-minute and say, if this 30-minute curls up, if that can go negative at any point, then I should say downside is the most likely option. Now you could say this is possibly cup and handle in here, possibly. It doesn't look like too much like a cup and handle. I think you might have the likelihood more so to see some kind of pop like this and then see that start to fade. I think that's a more likely. But we'll see. If that 2 hour can cross up, that means strength and momentum. But it might have more work to do is all I'm saying. It might need to go a little bit deeper. It might need to go sideways a little more before turning up. Sold your app. Nice. I'm glad you were able to. Here they go trapping the QQQ. Let's see. 30-minute. Ah, I see what you're doing, Qs. You curl up. We'll see. It's still got 30 minutes on the bar. I still think like maybe daily expected move is likely. But as of right now, it's just slightly green in positive territory, so I have to be a little bullish. But if that starts to flash red and go negative, yeah, we're done. We're done with the upside for that moment. That's the better way to put it. Damn you, volatility. Dollar's still holding way higher. All right, let's go look at GME and AMC again real quick. AMC up 5% today. Hourly, is it able to cross up? The 23 minutes. The next bar is going to be very important. You're so close to touching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here for a moment on like a 5 minute, so it's fun for you guys, because we might see a 5 minute pullback, but I just want to leave it here for a second, go use the restroom. I'll be right back. Be right back. Remember that course, if you just want to go check it out, see what it's about, there's a little description in the link in the description there. Just click on the link in the description. It's $100 until June 31st. I'll be right back in a few seconds. Well, maybe a few minutes, but a couple minutes here just to use the restroom. I'll be right back. It's time for another round of Did Lucas Wash His Hands? Hint, I took a number 2. So did Lucas Hansen wash his hands? Let's see, let's find out. Put your answers in the chat because I'm gonna go make another coffee, so I'll be right back. Answer in the chat, did I wash my hands? And we're back. We're back. I did, guys. Okay. What did we say yesterday? If it's number 2, you always wash your hands. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now, one thing I kind of thought about while I was, you think about awesome stuff. You have epiphanies when you're on the toilet, don't you? You have epiphanies. The epiphany that I had was, let's see here. I would say this company has a lot of weird things happening. This company has a lot of glitches. This company has a lot of shutdowns, so I can't log in, and maybe I just got screwed out of my Apple trade. This would be maybe a fundamental reason for this company being bad, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be a fundamental reason? Weird. Does E-Trade? Yeah, E-Trade, you don't have something. What was the other one? Fidelity. Oh man, what's a Fidelity ticker? Anybody know? That's not Fidelity, is it? Oh yeah, that's right. It's JP Morgan. You're right. Thank you. JP Morgan, if this is E-Trade and they're really shutting down, they're willing to kick you off if you tell someone your position. Man, that's a bad fundamental reason there. That's bad. I don't like those fundamentals, man. I don't like it. I don't like that reason. That's kind of bad. You're stealing my money. You actually, genuinely, you should be able to. I'm not even kidding. You should be able to. Genuinely, that is that screws people out of their money. They're worried about me saying buy or sell, which we don't do on this channel. We do it based on the indicators. That's first of all. But they're just willing to shut down on purpose. We know it's on purpose. We know it's on purpose. You cannot convince me it's not on purpose. All of this stuff does not happen at the same time randomly. It just doesn't. They're doing it for a reason. What are dark pools? Dark pools are like the other side to what you're seeing here. So dark pools is this. Dark pools is there's a bunch of trades that don't hit the tape. Your trades don't hit the tape, but they pretty much say dark pool activity is like, okay, I could sell AMC today, and that wouldn't show up for a little while, right? That wouldn't show up till the next day or something like that. It could be, I buy AMC today, and technically AMC in the dark pools could be trading at 650. It actually showed it was trading at 650 in the dark pools. So that's interesting to me because that means that this price is a total lie. So dark pool activity, it's like 50%. You're pretty much only getting 50% of the data here, and this is only the data they want you to see. The dark pool data would actually hold the price of this higher as of right now. Because there are trades happening for AMC in dark pools at $6, above $6. That's why you're seeing these random blips for GME going boom. Like people are posting those all over Twitter. Boom, boom. That's dark pool trades being shown in the actual market. They're hitting the tape. Now, I'm not the best person at understanding dark pools. I will admit that. If you would like to get more information on that, please go do some research. I knew about dark pools and I knew about these things, but I just recently have really started to look into it over the last 2 weeks. Goldman. I don't know these tickers, guys. I don't pay attention to banks if you didn't notice. SAC. No. You got 2-hour divergence. Pain and sorrow. All right. Now, big point for AMC here is going to be that heading up. We need this to see the next hour. The next hour is going to be very important. What's the SPY doing? First, let's see what volatility is doing. Let's see if we can figure out what's happening. Volatility not able to cross over on the 30-minute. That's a good sign that this might be some kind of rig move down now. Yeah, we're heading down now. Damn it. I'm not going to reapply my position, though. Watch the world burn. See if I want to take a trade here. 30-minute not positive. 15-minute trying to go positive. AMC 15-minute is positive. Yep. YOLO! Just saying. YOLO! I might wait for a 5-minute pullback, but my cost average on AMC is now 502. Like pretty much on the dot. It hit 502 and then it sold off. Fuck! Oh, god dang it. Yeah, that $5 mark is very important, but my cost average now is 502 with that buy. I just see the 15-minute going positive, that's why I'm doing it, but it's not a big amount by any means. Like I said, there's some stuff I'm trading back and forth to kind of fuel more buying for AMC. And if this hourly turns up, that's when I'll maybe go with it. Can you really trust? No. But we kind of have to, because that's what's based on to our trading platform. So we kind of have to a little bit. What we're going to trust is momentum turning up. Momentum turning up. That's what I'm going to trust. Okay, motherfucker, with this bullshit every day. You don't tell me because my demons are notoriously rage. Hourly turned up over here. Big move, big move. Never turn back down. Hourly turns up here. What happens? Positive territory. That's what we're waiting on. QQQ, it could be. This could be. Right here, this is our daily expected move. This is great, great level to pay attention to. That is curling up right now, so unless that curls back down, the indicator would tell you if this confirms a green bar, it would say positivity. Now that can just flip right back down, but as of right now, positivity. Here's the thing we have to pay attention to. I want you to pay close attention to this. I'm gonna mute my music. I want you to pay attention to this. If something crazy happens right now in the next 10 minutes, if we get something crazy to happen with AMC and GME, the market could sell off. Now, I don't want you to take that info and think, oh, it's going to sell. That is what could happen, because you're noticing right now the Qs are retesting the high. They're not able to curl back up on this hourly yet. That is not saying positivity just yet. Okay, that's not saying positivity just yet. And we know that volatility just rejected the crossover here. Okay, now it's crossing down, so maybe we do see that positivity. But I just want you to pay attention to the next 10 minutes, because if the SPY, if the Qs, if they start to reject here and fall down, and AMC and GME actually do cross up and go positive on these daily charts, or on these hourly charts, that is going to be very bad for the market. They are going to have to pay to try to suppress this, and they might have to liquidate some stocks. We'll see. We will see. I think they liquidated some of their Bitcoin to pay for today. They were trying to suppress it. You saw the halt. You saw the halt on GME. I think they're distracted right now, and that's why AMC is able to run and GME is struggling. But just know, if AMC runs, GME is on the verge of it. If GME runs, AMC is on the verge of it. Okay, so the next hour is going to be very, very important for these stocks. Now, if I'm going to wait for that full hour to most likely complete, I really am, in order to actually take a trade. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. But I do have an order there. Okay, we have the order set up. Okay, the order is set up. There's a good move. Up 3% in an hour, solid. But I just want you to understand, this is about to pop off as the market looks like, hey, I have daily divergences up here. I'm starting to fade the move. My 15-minute is crossing. It's still crossover. It hasn't crossed up into positive territory. So there's a lot that can happen. Apple, what's that doing? Well, it's starting to stall out a little bit. Going up towards the weekly expected move. A little bit higher up is the weekly expected move. So don't think it's over yet. We're seeing a lot of these little things like this breaking through a key level of 160.83. Meta looking like it's creating another point of divergence, triple divergence here for the 30-minute. Looking for that to cross over. You see how rigged this is. Every stock looks like this. This is when you know when it's not clear. what this means is if we're able to stop the corruption in the market, what this means is you're going to see divergences a lot more clear, and it will be a good sign of momentum going out of the system. You will stop seeing things that look like this. Curl up, curl down, curl up, no, do this, curl down, up a little, and then here, and then everyone's tricked, and boom. You'll stop seeing this. Momentum will be a lot more clear. Right now, they're fucking with the market, so that makes momentum look awful. You see it right here. You see the fake outs. You see all this. What the corruption is doing is causing this type of behavior. Your momentum will be more clear if the corruption's taken out. Now, I don't think they do. I think they just bail everyone out like they always do. I shouldn't, if I would expect something different, I'd be a crazy person, in my opinion. I'd be a crazy person. I hope it does gamma squeeze, and that is different from a short squeeze, but a gamma squeeze can lead into it. It's a great move. We have to pay attention to this hour. This next hourly bar is everything. Look how close. Look how close this is to crossing. The next hourly bar, it could reject. We'll see if some short selling comes in. We'll see. Head and shoulders on the SPY, maybe in the shorter time frames. The only thing is this was to take out stops to the downside. I still think there's going to be some kind of move to take out stops to the upside and then it breaks down, but that's just my opinion. That hasn't happened yet. So the 30-minute hasn't even crossed up. If the 30-minute crosses up, I think we have a chance to do that by end of day. Qs are kind of showing that right now. I think we don't have much time left. That's all I'll say. That's my I think. The charts will tell me when it is, but right now I'm like, things don't look good. Tesla looks awful. Yeah, and then we get data, which can mess with it even more. 5 minutes till the hourly bar. Getting jacked. If this hourly crosses, plenty of reason to be jacked. If it's my understanding, gamma squeeze is because it causes buying in the stock, causes you to go above a level that it has to break through. So this technically above here is a gamma squeeze. A short squeeze would technically be if there are too many shorts and those people have to cover. Okay? So that's my overall understanding of the difference between the two. Is this is technically your gamma squeeze level that if you get past that, you can force those shorts to have to cover. A short squeeze is the shorts start to cover. You squeeze them hard enough that they start to get out of their short positions and go long. Lucas is the best. Like and subscribe. Almost 1K subs in less than 2 weeks. Let's go. AMC, I'm using the same thing across the board. I'm using a here, I'll do this for you so you can see. It's a 5 SMA, it's a 50 SMA, it's a 200 SMA, and a 20 EMA. Thank you, Kairos. Really appreciate it. So this is your gamma level right here, though, for the most part. According to the options market this week, this is the gamma level. If you're able to hold above there, then you can see a short squeeze because the shorts may have to cover above those level, above the level of 633. Because this is unexpected. So gamma is kind of unexpected as well. So that would be unexpected. If it remains unexpected, you might see short covering. Shogun Solo, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Yeah, betting against the market, betting against the trend is very difficult. Very difficult. That's why we talk about negative territory. It's very, very difficult. Okay, right now you're in an hourly positive trend. Is there any reason to take, like, technically you would say shorts, right? Well, this is saying you're in a pullback right now. You don't really have a reason. The only reasons that we would have is if we make a divergence. Which, this little blip right here is a divergence from this point here. So you have multiple point divergence. That dropped down, that confirmed. But if you go higher, maybe you make a more clear divergence. Like the Qs are doing, right? They're trying to create that divergence right now. Things like XLU, they'll have a little bit more clear divergences, right? You see the double top? See how this is a little bit better, a little more clear? See how that's clear? So on XLU, you'll see things a little bit more clearly. The SPY right now is just a mess. This is a mess. This is a mess on a 30-minute. You don't see this very often. Apple won't stop. It will. 204.50, 205. That's kind of my ceiling for it. All right. Laws shorted Apple early. It had to be done, he says. Yeah, you could just get a 5-minute pullback, though. You could see like this, right? I always want to have a reason for any trade, but I understand. Maybe you do have a reason. Maybe it's because it's at the weekly expected move, and it's freaking Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's at the upside weekly expected move, and it had a big move priced in. So at least maybe you have a reason. This, you have a reason, I get it, but this thing is rigged to the tits, so I'm not trading it. Meta, maybe you have a reason in a moment. Look at this reason. But the last time that reason came up, it was pretty rigged. Now maybe this is the right timing. We'll see. And it's look at this forming right as 2 minutes before we see this hourly on AMC and GME. AMC, very important to watch here. Starting to fade. 5-minute pullback is likely first. I want to see how this bar ends up, though. 5 minutes still pretty positive now. You see how positive it is? That's a good sign. Now you want to see if that pulls back, if that's able to buy back up. That would be important to pay attention to. And then we could say if that curls up, okay, is the hourly confirming? All of these things together, you have to think about a lot before taking a trade, get those reasons and go for it. That's the thing. It's like your indicator will tell you when to go for it. You know, SPY's the same thing, just looking for that 30-minute if it's going to cross up. But as far as stocks goes, I like looking at SMH. Looking for weakness in SMH, that's big. That is an hourly signal. You're getting a 30-minute divergence here, confirmed right here. Now you're seeing that bounce up. 15-minute, is that able to go positive? Because you can create a small divergence here, okay? So you see the 15-minute, this is more clear. This is more clear. You see the 30-minute divergence, very close to negative territory, great find. 2 hour, if that curls over, well, what likes to curl over a 2 hour? That 30-minute divergence. Okay, so we just pay attention. If the 15-minute rolls up, it's not the moment. If the 15-minute goes negative, maybe it is. Your signals told you right here, potential for a reversal in trend below 252.52. Yeah, Daniel, the key thing with stocks, anything that's like a 3 times leverage, whatever, you always do the analysis on the actual thing that you're trading, semiconductors, right? So you want to find an ETF that you respect. I like this one. I like SMH, like TSM, things like that. You want to look at all these type of things, right? TSM, what do we see? We see wonky divergences. So this one's a little wonkier. Maybe I like SMH a little better, but this is saying, hey, I'm in a pullback. I could curl up. You want to pay attention to those things, but this is saying weakness. Gotta fix this. I keep putting the headphones on like that little nub on your hat. It brings me so much pain. Gives me a headache by the end of the day. With bearish divergence, you did get lucky with Apple. This is not a luck play. The thing is, if you know, luck is in the market. Luck is a thing in the market. Right? But we're trying to, luck also has probabilities. If you go gambling, you have probabilities, right? What we're trying to do is wait till the probability is higher. This right here had a higher probability for some kind of downward push. And then seeing that go up, hey, awesome, risk management. Risk management. There's nothing lucky about what you're doing if you're reacting, because this is actually very unlucky for this move. Reacting and being like, okay, I need to get out of this is the smart thing to do. That is exactly what your indicator told you to do. That's what we're learning here. We're learning how to use these indicators. SPY, starting to try to curl up even more. We'll see. We got to go look at AMC, see what's happening there. I still think a 5-minute pullback is likely. 5-minute pullback is likely. Most likely that is a short squeeze on Apple, yes. Most likely that is. Because you're probably in some kind of positive gamma, but Apple, for the most part, For the daily side of things, yeah, that's going to be a gamma for the daily, and then it's going to be like, okay, now you're going to get people to cover. Because look what people did this morning. People in the chat, they covered, right? They sold their short positions. That means, you know, pretty much that's what's happening. That's definitely looking like a short squeeze to me. It hasn't hit 206 yet. Now it can. It's going outside of the weekly range, Leo. That's a fine call for the move. I respect it, Leo. That's the right call. But in this level here is where you need to watch for some kind of weakness. This is a rigged move. It's very rigged. Affirm. Ooh. No real good divergences here, but I would say that's overbought on a 30-minute. On a 15-minute, I'd look for a 15-minute pullback, which is what you're pretty much getting. Hey, you said 206. I'm going to hold it to you. I'm going to hold it to you. The high of this, 205.33. But yeah, Leo's thinking right. Or more? No, this week, more from there would just be unlikely. You need to at least see a pullback. That would be a ballistic move. That would be a ballistic move, and I'd be very careful with chasing that, but 206, there's no reason for me to look at 206. Just a little more. Just a little more. And there is you do have a trend above you that we used to be in. Pretty important trend. We zoom out. So I understand, it's great. That's a good trend between these highs. Makes total sense. Good job. I get what you're saying. Maybe like 207.05 for today. But that's based on a trend line. We don't really like that. We would like to see a 15-minute. Look at that thing. It's cooked, man. We'll see. We'll see. Is it going to hit 206, Leo? Is it going to hit 206? Weirdly enough, 15-minute. Yeah, divergence. No divergence, so this looks like maybe a dead cat bounce or something, but we'll see. Paulina, would you wait for the only hourly MACD to completely cross over? Sometimes I feel that really late. Could you have looked at it? Well, it depends. I mean, if you're taking it based on the problem that you think is there for AMC, then I would say, okay, if the hourly crosses over, that'd be a good moment. Still, it's still cheap then regarding that. You would say that's really cheap because you have the potential this week to go to 633. That's a big move. That's a big move. That hourly crosses up right here, 24%. It's a solid move, right? So what you want to wait for is maybe a perfect entry. Look for a 5-minute to curl down, 5-minute to curl back up. And then you want to make sure at that point that the hourly is curling up, manage the risk. But you think it's late, guys. I just want to do this again. I did this last time. You think that this is late, right? If you're investing in this, people might consider this to be late, right? 111. Where did it end up going to when the problem was shown? It went to 389. Was this late? Once you look back on it, will it be late? This is when you talk about like holding the stock. Will it be late, really? Now we are in a daily pullback. We got to keep that in mind. But I would say for me, an hourly crossing up is still considered early. Now the daily crosses up. Yeah, you might be a little bit behind. But in the grand scheme of things, will it be considered late? We'll see. I still think a 5-minute pullback's likely here. – 14th of May. So your signal here was a 2-hour going positive right here. That's why I like 2 hours. Look at that. It said 383 was the time. Boom. That's why I like 2-hour cross-ups. Right here it said what was the time. Said this price right here at the completion, 485. Yeah, you dipped down, but you never crossed over. It went all the way up to $6. 20% move. That's a good move. It's a solid move. Look at the 2 hour, it's still positive. It wasn't able to go negative. That 2 hour crosses up again, you might see a big move, maybe to 633, maybe to 739. Now we have to have the hourly cross up for that to happen. If the 5 minutes curling down, it's not going to be the moment. I think we see a 5 minute pullback and then we turn it back around. This is like a cup and handle where you want to get it on a 5 minute too, by the way. You never violated the center. You curl up, you curl down, you roll up. We'll see, but that looks like the likely scenario here. That could be pretty deep. You just don't want that to go too deep, right? You don't want that to go too deep. You want that to remain a little high up. I hope that was helpful, Paulina, but once you start to pay attention to the bigger time frames, you'll realize like you're gonna feel late all the time if you're looking at a 5 minute, a 15 minute, a 30 minute. But if you just backtrack a little bit and make sure the same momentum is confirming on those dailies, on those 2 hours, you're not gonna be late. You're gonna be waiting till momentum is stronger, and I think that's smart. Lydia, about to watch you today. Love how you answer questions and don't judge or none. I'm a new trader. No, that's the point. I've been trading for a long time. And so I started this with the mentality of like, I want to be as helpful as possible, and that's it. Amazon's doing something. Let's go look at something different. Let's go look at Amazon. Uh-oh. Remember, I was like, be careful with Amazon. They keep telling you to buy. Remember, they said right here on Friday, Amazon was the one. They were hammering, saying buy, 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 buy. And then guess what? They always do this. Buy, 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 buy. They were saying it. The media was saying it. They were straight up saying buy it. Curls up. You feel good about it. You feel good about it. You feel good about it. Now, we'll see what happens here. The 30 minute, that can lead to a 2 hour rolling over. Now a 2 hour pullback is the most likely thing here. It is the most likely thing. Now we could see one more rig move up. We'll pay attention to it, but 2 hour pullback is the most likely thing here if this can cross over on the MACD. That's what your indicator would tell you in the next couple hours. It would say, if I cross over, I'm pulling back on a 2 hour. Just like Nvidia. Nvidia is telling you, hey, I'm going to move sideways or pull back until I want to cross up again. Why is Netflix zero out? Is it just zero? It's weird. The fuck? Or at least not crossed up yet. Oh, sorry, I want to go 5 minute. I think a 5 minute pullback here is likely. Oh, it's not going to pull back? Yeah, it will. You're going to pull back. Don't do that to me. Thank you, Leo. I appreciate your input too, Leo. Thanks for calling it out, being like, hey, that's my price target. I think that's cool. And it's not the worst level. Like some people saying like, oh, Apple's now going to 300. Then I'd just be like, no, no. But saying like, hey, 206 and then there's a pullback, that's a perfectly fine assessment. Jim just said buy Apple at that level. Jesus, man. So yeah, maybe you do go a little bit higher. But within the next 7 trading days, most likely Apple's down if Jim Cramer's if the Jim Cramer algorithm's going to kick in. But you can go higher until then, but just know it's usually like a 7 to 10 business day window, trading day window, where he starts to be very, very, very wrong. Let's hold him to that. Let's hold him to that. Let's go to Apple. We're going to mark that off. We're going to mark that off right here. Someone just said that, we'll say 5 minutes ago. We're going to mark that off. We'll mark it as a thick red line and say, that's the Jim Cramer line right there. There's the Jim Cramer line. Did he say buy Nvidia? Who knows? Oh, Nvidia, you're not looking pretty. 4 hour? Ew. Ew. Daily? It's still got some room on the daily. Uh-oh. CPC before the day started was 0.68. That's pretty interesting. AMD already crossed over. That's screaming weakness to me. Hey, Mace, thank you so much for subscribing. I almost didn't hear that. And Joseph, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Any questions anyone has, you know, even if I've answered it a million times, it's good for you to try to like hear what I'm saying and then find a stock that looks like that and then show me that stock. That would be the better way to practice, by the way. AMC curling up on the hourly. I think there will be a 5-minute pullback, but we'll see. See GME. See, GME is getting the 5-minute pullback, not looking as strong as AMC right now. I think this one's being fought more today. Let me check Twitter in a second, but that hourly turns up, it's a good sign. You're not seeing the 5-minute pullback. I would really like to see the 5-minute pullback early. I would like to see that early. Because once you get overexcited, it sometimes is a good thing, yeah. But in this case, I really like a handle here. A little 5-minute handle here would be so nice. I can't really tell you if the bottom is in. I think if this hourly curls up, you have a good chance for this being a base. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, and you didn't even come down to the trend here based on this. Maybe I want to take this point, actually, though. Yeah, I want that point. You didn't even come all the way down to the trend. That's actually a good sign, but you can see like a 5-minute pop and drop, 15-minute pop and drop. See how it's up towards the center line now? So if you get one more drop down and then that buys back up, that'd be good divergence on a 15-minute. It's pretty much exactly what we look for. It's a little bit off. We like it to be outside the ranges. Why QQQ dumping now? It's right when they're starting to cross over on... It's not dumping by any means, by the way. But the 30-minute crossed up, now it's crossed back down. That's where you got to be quick. There's a lot of fake outs in the market right now. 30-minute crossed up, crossed right back down. That would be divergence across the way, so be careful if that rolls negative. That's really what you have to pay attention to. Rolls negative. And sometimes futures is more clear. Yeah, the 2 hour for the futures never curled back up. This would be more of an upward signal. This is kind of like a 15-minute. That's not able to cross up. That's a bad sign. If this starts to go negative, that's not good. This didn't go up either. And this isn't the right level, but... I still would love to see the 5-minute pullback. Grab liquidity for a second. Jeez, man. Yeah, that makes sense. Inflation data. Let me pull up what's expected here. The data for tomorrow is supposed to come in, what, pretty much even across the board, even down with the inflation rate month over month. Yeah, so if you want to see this, everything's supposed to come in pretty even, but the inflation rate month over month is the only one that's supposed to come down. And then this is very important. This is probably more important than the inflation data. PPI is supposed to come down. We could see some kind of pullback today and then see things run up with PPI or something like that. Consumer sentiment going up. Yeah, I think if anything's going to change, this might be this inflation rate month over month. But this one here, we'll see. If we see any ticking up here, that might not be very good. I think it comes in lower, personally. That's just my opinion, though. There's no reason for that. It's my opinion. It's going to be coming in lower. And then we'll see TLT pop. People get excited. Maybe the SPY even goes higher with that coming in lower. And then eventually that's ripped away by next week. That would be a likely hurtful scenario. Breaking! Jury finds Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, guilty on all 3 counts. Wow, everyone is talking about online how TD Ameritrade, how TD and Schwab are just going to lose tons of users. There's no way you cannot allow your users to access their accounts. Some traders are time sensitive. I smell a big lawsuit. That's right, if you're hit by this, lawyer up, man. I haven't seen anything about the completion of the GameStop offering. Come on, 5-minute pullback would be good here, guys. It would be good here. You want it to happen early in the hour. I would like it to happen before 11 o'clock and then turn up past 11 o'clock for my time. I'm gonna look around for just a little bit while you guys stare at AMC. Okay. I think the data would be interesting. The data makes XLU pop and the market pop. Then right after that, it's just rug pulled. I think that would be very interesting. Apple topping out above our weekly expected move, right at 205.45, coming back down below the weekly expected move. That's why they're there, guys. That's why they're there. It literally goes up to it and wicks out right at it. Just above it. When I died. Amazon seeing some weakness here. Curling over on the 2 hour. It looks likely for Amazon here. Now we're seeing some stuff here. That's a 5-minute, 2 hour. Look at this. It's really starting to point down here. And the 30-minute told us it got the rejection up here at the highs. You go into it, you see a rejection, you look at a 15-minute, boom, there it is. Right there, level here, 186.58. Now we're dropping off. 2 hour curls over now with that 30-minute rejection divergence. We'll see. Paying attention to how we can get screwed though. If that 30-minute crosses back up, it's still positive. Ooh, Nvidia really starting to point here. Let me get rid of some stuff. Let me get rid of this crap. I don't need that. Look at that, really pointing down. But this is where the rig move can happen. See how it's almost going negative? That's where things can escalate. You got to see if this 2 hour is really pointing down. This could just be a bigger pullback, and then it curls right back up. And then Tom Lee, who just somehow knows exactly where the market's been going the last 2 years, can... obvious insider information, but hey, well, that's fine. He's coming out and telling us. That's fine. Now, we just don't want to be baited by that. We want to see the 2 hour curl down and then curl back up. If we're going to see some kind of pullback, that fakes us out. Let me look at AMD. AMD right now trading outside of the weekly expected move. Holding down too. Holding down below the weekly expected move. Breaking the lows. Hopefully this isn't just a stop loss grab and then turns back up. We'll see. Meta starting to look like it's going to curl over. You got 30-minute divergence on Meta too, confirming. Confirming on this bar. So you got 8 minutes and then Meta's saying, hey, the most likely scenario here is I either pull back for just a little bit or I fully go negative and I roll over the 2 hour chart. And the 2 hour says pullback, so keep that in mind. Even with this downturn, look for this area right here, maybe 478, 479. Okay, that would be a great pullback level in this area right in here. Microsoft, what do you look like? Microsoft just looks wonky and rigged, honestly. It's just only going up. Google, you don't look as good. You're going to cross over in negative territory, my guy. Google has a 30-minute that looks like it's about to cross over and go negative. It's not the best sign. 15-minute, the other way that could happen, 15-minute curls up, positivity. 30-minute curls down, negativity. All we got to look into. Keep it simple. Netflix looks like a flag if I've ever seen one. 30-minute curls down, okay, awesome, negativity. 15-minute curls down, awesome, negativity. If the 2 hour is able to curl back up, positivity. Always paying attention to multiple charts. Looks a lot like a Head and Shoulders here. All right, now we might be getting that 5-minute pullback for AMC. Let's go check on it. There's the pullback sign. This is a signal for a pullback in AMC. All right, let's see what you guys are chatting about. CPI tomorrow. I don't want to speculate on the numbers. I want to more say how the charts look. The charts look like we are going to confirm some downside maybe for the next day or two. But PPI is supposed to come dramatically down from 0.5 to 0.1 is what is expected. So that would tell me PPI, maybe CPI pulls the market down and then PPI actually causes a bounce in the market. We'll see. Everything looks very toppy though. It might, the goal might be reached there for Barnes & Noble. That's sad. That's sad. That's very sad. I hate these hedge funds, man. I'm just gonna say it. I hate them. Tesla going to 120. Tesla here. Usually you will see at least a 15-minute pullback here. I think we'll see a 15-minute pullback to maybe retest a level like 172. But it's not a good look. It looks awful. That 2 hour cross down is just pointing down, so there's no reason for me to think the 2 hour has to reverse around here. Here's your pullback. If we can hold a little bit good here for the 5-minute and curl back up, I'm going to see if that hourly can cross. Netflix starting to cross over on a 15-minute. That's right by negative territory too. What's the dollar doing? Also, I don't know. Tom Lee might be just lying because this dollar is really fucking high up. Tells me I'm alright. Everybody tells me I'll be fine. Everything is not okay. You do have divergence here. This would be like 1 hour is like your 15-minute. So dollar does have divergence. Is how my friends with all my demons, so they sink their teeth in. Alright, 15-minute here for the SPY. I don't believe that was able to cross up. Kind of rejecting here. Now watch out, everything's rigged. 15-minute here for the Q. Start to cross over. 30-minute confirmed, unconfirmed. That's divergence. It's very tight, but it is. We'll see what happens. Once again, I'm expecting nothing days. The volume here is just trash. We did this earlier. The volume here is just absolute trash. Again. Volume for the whole day right now is 9.24 million. 10.4 million. Now let's look at AMC or GME. 19.35 million today. 46.63 million today. And the stock hasn't even moved. Like, really? Crazy. Changing, better rearrange. The problem is so real, it's insane. I believe. Here we go. 5-minute pullback was the most likely scenario here. What you guys doing? It is GGO. It is. That's why we pay attention to him. But the 2 hour turns green, but MACD hasn't crossed over. Positive trend yet, would you already get in? Well, if you're looking for the 2 hour to cross up and you want to get in early, you at least need to probably see an hourly cross up. So kind of like with AMC. Because the hourly is so close to positive, I can read into it a little bit. So I don't have to fully wait for the 2 hour to cross up. This is kind of how you can look on other charts too. It's like, I don't have to wait for this to fully cross up. If I know the hourly is going negative, it could be a strong move. And then I don't want to get it way up here when the 2 hour crosses. So maybe I just see the hourly and then I'll pay attention to the 2 hour and a 30-minute, make sure nothing's rolling down. But first step first, you need to cross up. It's a great sign. A lot of things reaching. 15-minute is positive. That is a great sign. If the 15-minute curls over, that's not a good sign, guys. That's why I'm saying a 5-minute pullback into a 5-minute pop is very important. That's why I'm watching a 5-minute. Yes. I think, Trevor, yes, because it's more people are willing to hold it longer. More people understand it this time. Less people will be freaked out by the movements. If you go ask some guy with a ton of followers on Twitter, he just said like, hey, AMC has sold off dramatically. Who sold? And then you said like, I sold some, I sold all of it, I sold none. The I sold none was like 90%. So the fact that it's seeing a sell-off, that convinces me even more so that this is some kind of short selling problem. And so if that starts to go the other direction, then 90%, maybe they hold the whole time. The divergence is a negative one for the dollar. So it's saying there may be a dip down, right? Or on an hourly, sorry. Hourly is pretty much your 15-minute, and you're seeing a steep divergence here. So we could see the dollar back off, but we could see the market sell off and the dollar sell off at the same time. And that would be a sign of insider buying in that area, maybe one more run up, and then the dollar goes higher even more so. We said this like a week and a half ago. The dollar goes up while the SPY goes up. That's what we're looking for. That's exactly what's happened. But we mentioned it over and over. It's like that can remain for a long time. 30-minute, not looking too good there. It can remain for a long time. We're just seeing a lot of rigged behavior. See, now the hourly, it's like, you're like, that doesn't look good. You know, 5-minute was likely to get a pullback. The MACD told you right here. MACD right here said pullback. Pullback, pullback, pullback. Makes sense. If they were even getting close to the price 21, I would be able to buy 16 full-size bathtubs filled with bacon. Yeah, we can, you know, the way that bacon is these days, it's like, damn, buying one package of bacon right now is like buying 2 or 3 in the past. Black Swan incoming. And if it doesn't, that's going to be a huge letdown. Strange analogy. Ow. Sorry, I keep kicking my desk. Oh, but if GME, I'll say this again, if GME ever hits 500 or higher, I'm gonna get an, or AMC and GME both hit over $100. So we'll do that. If AMC or GME, both of them at the same time, whatever, if they both hit over $100, I'm gonna get a tattoo of right here. I'm gonna put it in my sleeve because this sleeve is all goofy characters, right? So I'm gonna get some clouds up here, and I'm gonna have an ape sitting on it, watching a movie or playing video games. I'm gonna get an ape playing video games, I think. If they both get over $100, I'm gonna let my wife do it. Nvidia's starting to push back up. Ooh, good bounce. Let's see. 15-minute curls up, not the moment. You're seeing such wonky behavior, dude. That's not a cup and handle, by the way. That is not a cup and handle. It's too deep. At least from the look of it, it's too deep. Here we go. Daily expected move. Are you going to hold up again, you little bastard? 15-minute crosses up. Positivity. What's the volatility telling us? Volatility on the 30-minute is telling us it crossed down. So it's still saying volatility can head down as of right. Even with this drop, my Q calls are still green. That could be the inside people might be actually buying calls, causing the premium to go up. That's what I believe is happening with GME. I think they're actually buying tons and tons of calls and just suppressing the stock, but just in case there's a pop, they want to have some exposure. That's just my theory. It's not really proven. Rob the broken. The beaten and the dam. Apple sell-off. Right now, 5-minute pullback, but just know that right here is this red line is where Jim Cramer said Apple's a great buy. Jim Cramer said it's a good buy, guys. Ray P, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, and preach, pray, proclaim in Jesus' name. There we go. I'm down with that. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enigma, thank you for subscribing. Ed Nigma? Ed Nigma is in here? Batman? The Joker? Roaring Kitty? Yes, that's it. Reverse Kramer. Reverse Kramer, that's what it is. Yeah, just remember, all these stocks are going to be rigged higher, so don't get excited to short one of these. This easily could just turn right back up. I have no divergence up here. This is great. This is a great point to pay attention. Because if we can get this 15-minute to just roll down and then see another rigged move up, and you see this, like come Thursday, watch out for Friday, especially if that dollar is still heading up. I would love to see a reversal signal up here. Not just this. I want to see a reversal and trend signal. She's watching over me. Wah, wah, wah. All right, we got to see if this 5 minutes able to curl up at any time for AMC. Looking pretty strong here for AMC right now. GME's the distraction. I love it. Going to be changing. AMC is back to AMC stock analysis. Is Wall Street right to be bullish on AMC Entertainment? Oh, they're flipping. Wait. Hey, I don't smell, but thank you for subscribing. Actually, I probably do smell. I'm a stinky guy. They say to buy it. Wait, what? Wait, who posted that? Google headline. Julian, do you have the link for that? "4 days ago, sorry apes, expect an infuriating ending to the AMC stock saga, LOL. People are now posting how GameStop has moved down dramatically at times. They're snapshotting pictures and giving percentages of why it should have been halted, and it's not halted on the downside. Damn. All right, we're starting to see this bounce up. This may be all we need, right? 5 minute. Now, I think it needs to be a little deeper. That's just my opinion. I would really like to see us to go right here. I'd really like this level right here, like 487. I would love that. And then see that just bounce from that level and curl up. That's all I need to be a little bit more confident on a 5 minute. Then I got to watch out for 5 minute divergence and stuff, but that might be enough to turn up the hourly. Let me see if I'm seeing some. Let me look for AMC stories. I'm not seeing much on AMC. And then it make you bend and break. Fallout Boy, not my favorite. All right, what you guys talking about? Not a lot of news I'm seeing. Maybe someone can have. Oh, look at that! Netflix crossed over on the 15 minutes. Starting to see a little drop here. About to go negative on the 15 minute. See if that curled on a 30. Hasn't curled on the 30 yet. Watch out for rig moves up, guys. But Apple, yeah, we'll look at Apple. Starting to top out towards that weekly expected move. Whoa, why am I glitching? There you go. Okay, so we had the inverse Kramer come in right here. We're starting to drop off. I still think there's a good likelihood we see a 15-minute divergence at least. I still think this could do this. Then we pop up higher. Then we do this. I would like to see that. That would be good. But if this is just going to be the rigged move finally done, there it is. Now this, I saw a lot of people on TD Ameritrade. I saw a lot of people on Charles Schwab complaining about their Apple calls and stuff like that. And I'm like, they might have just known there's more calls on there and they rip it away from you. It's very crazy. Cup and handle? On what time frame? 5 minute? You'd like to complete the cup higher up. You'd like that cup to start around, that handle to be formed around 27. But maybe this level here, you got a little excited, so I wouldn't say it's the best look for cup and handle. And plus, if you were trying to treat this as cup and handle, you kind of violated it here, then you drop down. So the low here, it's not the best looking cup and handle, but I get what you're saying. It could just be the rigged moves making it look complicated. 30 minute? I don't really see a cup and handle anywhere. Maybe we're looking at it differently, but I'm not seeing it. And I won't stop till everybody's zombified. "30-minute curls up, positivity, but I think that 2 hours rolled over. That's very bad. This is not a good look. But if you're able to hold up on that 30-minute, you know it's positive. So if this can continue negativity, if that curls up the 30-minute, then you know the 2 hour could curl back up. So I've been watching this 30-minute. If I was expecting downside, that 30-minute curls up, positivity can be there for snap. I don't want the 15-minute to cross over. That's key too. I don't want the 15-minute to cross over. I just want a little 5-minute pullback. Maybe even a little more here. Google? Jedi. No, you not really. You had it here in all this. You had it, and then you're getting the retest of the broken channel, and now you're saying, "Hey, am I going to curl over into negative territory?" Well, 15-minute already crossed over. It's going negative. So downside is the most probable thing. If the 30-minute can cross, more downside. And then we want to look at 2 hours and things like that. If these start to go negative, it's not a good look. This could be a lower high. Yeah, you're getting a bunch of rejection on the daily side. They won't stop till you're zombified. Remember, guys, that course is only $100 for all of June. We're gonna leave it for all of June because look at this frickin' market. You guys need to understand these things better. The course will make it pretty damn clear and teach you how to manage your risk. Managing risk, exactly what someone did this morning. They quickly knew to manage their risk with the Apple play, saying, hey, this is how they could screw me. That saves you from losing all your money. It saves you, sure, sometimes you have to take a loss, but risk management, one of the most important things because the market is rigged, is risk management. I hate Apple so much. I mean, I get you. That's why I was proud of whoever came in this morning and just said, I'm managing risk right away this morning. Boom, right there. I was like, awesome. That is how you could get screwed. Now you're seeing the rigged move. It's unfortunate, and a lot of platforms were closed down, so you couldn't sell out of those short positions. So, and maybe if they're able to get on now, we see the short squeeze right there. So it's not looking pretty. AMC 5-minute, trying to get a little bounce here. We'll see. If this can curl up, I'm going to start paying attention to the hourly. You're coming from a lot of small losses. You can't from one big one. Just take a small loss. Best advice in a retail trade. It is. It's like if you manage your risk, you will end up in the big move. You will find a better setup. Just don't let yourself be taken out of the game. Play highly probable moves when they go against you. Manage the risk. And then most of those probable plays will happen. But it's right now, you are in a very rigged market. That's why I like when Miles said, I think it was like last week, he was like, this market makes no sense. Every move is a rigged one. I am not doing this. And I go, that's the perfect thing to say from a risk management standpoint. The best advice I can give, only take winning trades, guys. Hey, that means maybe trading daily or weekly charts, honestly. Most of those, they win. Oh, I didn't notice Aw You Smell. You have an ape in your thing. In your name, that's sick. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Laws. I don't like stop losses because it's rigged to figure out where your stop loss is. I don't want to give them that info, but I just manage my trade very, very closely. But I would encourage, people, stop losses are not a bad thing. It's just they know where the stop losses are or where you would put them. So, ooh, a little gap down between that bar there on the 5-minute. Weird. No, tell me something left. So yeah, stop losses are overall a good thing. It's just me personally, I watch it very closely. Well, so the 68% chance is where you're at right now. You're pretty much right at it. So 68 would be below this just barely by the end of the week. That's why I'm kind of looking for some kind of reversal signal in this area for Apple. Because then that would give me some kind of little trade to the downside. Sorry, my right eye has eczema. It's gross and I hate it. It makes it so dry and itchy. Underground will start a new revolution. No. Look at that gap down on a 5-minute. So strange. Yeah, algos hunt stop losses. That's why I personally don't use them, but they're still good for most people. Yeah, Jeffrey, that's me. I'm the stop loss. I watch it, I click with my mouse, I have the order ready. Apple's stupid. Apple's stupid. Like, I just realized what I said, but no. Apple is a great example of why you manage the risk and how they can fake you out, how they can manipulate the market. Everything was red this morning, except for Apple. Even Nvidia was red a little bit this morning, and Apple wasn't, and that thing held up the entire market. No, you can do things like this. So if you want like Qs, SQQQ, right? This is a short play. It's pretty much this goes up when the Qs go down. There's SPXS. If you want to do the SPY, that's a 3 times leverage one saying that the SPY is going to go down. And then you just want to make sure you're being correct and still managing risk because these things go down all the time. They have decay in them. Another one is like someone brings up this SOX semiconductors bearish trade. This will go up if semiconductors come down. Well, then what do semiconductors look like? They look like this. They look like, screw it, we'll do hourly. They had hourly divergence. They start to come down. This will make the stocks go up. That's kind of what you do. Another one's like volatility that I like to play when volatility is going to go up and the SPY is going to come down. UVXY goes up. So I like UVXY. I've traded it a lot. It's very hard to trade though, guys. So the ones that I think that are the easier ones are SQQQ and SPXS. Oxytocin making it all okay. I already listened to this song, dang it. If the 30-minute crosses up here, positivity. You got to keep track of that because we're at the daily expected move. That's why we're seeing the support come in. We weren't able to fully like close the day below it, so that's, you know, we weren't able to hold below it. So we're going to curl up, then I'm going to see positivity. I'm going to see this curl up on the MACD. If we're going to continue to see like negativity, well, then this 2 hour definitely won't cross up. It'll keep going down in a pullback. Right now, the SPY is saying most likely scenario right now where we're at with price, because the 30-minute hasn't crossed up, it is still saying 2 hour pullback. Very clear with that. In the bob with you, woo, 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 woo. CRM looks like you're about to see a 2 hour cross down. Like I said, there's no reversal signal here. People playing this, yeah, you're going to see a bounce up. Okay, you just saw a big drop, fine. But people asking me right here, I said, wait for the 2 hour to get close to the center line. Wait for the 30-minute to get close to the center line. Okay, the 30-minute went positive. Now the 2 hour is starting to roll over. If that shows a red bar, the most likely scenario is we're going to see some kind of pullback, test the low, go make a new one. Once we see something like this, then we could say, oh, there is divergence. But right now, no reason for me to say there is reversal in trend. It can just go positive, but I'm just saying that's not a good trade setup. 465 call for the Qs. Then you really want this 30-minute to cross up again. Is this 30 minutes still cross down? You really want this 30 minutes to cross up. And I'm just going to tell you, trading the SPY and the Qs right now, the volume is tiny. The volume is so low because of the AMC and GME fight. They are fighting against AMC and GME. That's where all of the market makers' liquidity is going. Okay? So just know you're going to see some weird stuff from the Qs. Let's check on XLU. XLU, I do like the base here, 15-minute. I like the base here. If that can curl up, I think the weekly expected move, 71.72 likely. The 2 hour, I think that could curl up, right? Do this and do this. I think that's the most likely thing. Now, we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. We'll have to see. Right now, you have a 15-minute divergence, so hourly is more what I would pay attention to. I think this has a good shot to reject and go like this, and then drop back down, which means maybe the market sees some kind of pop, but eventually it will catch up to XLU. But you do have 15-minute divergence at these levels, which likes to roll up the hourly MACD again, so you might get a rejection here. We'll see. We'll see, because if this 15-minute just doesn't cross, then none of that's going to happen, and you're kind of flagging here. So you got to see if that 15-minute crosses. It looks likely, but if that just continues going negative, if we're going to see a crash right now, eventually things will go back to normal. We'll see a normal daily range. Isn't it funny that the daily ranges are all the tiniest they've ever been? It's because they know they can't put any volume into the market. Hunter Biden is guilty. Yes, he is. He got guilty on all 3 counts. I think there were 3 counts. About GMA today at its lows, dollar downward trend. Yeah, so this could be 2 things, right? So you need to make sure to pull up a 2 hour. That's really where you're going to see. But I want you to see how in the post-market, insider selling. In the market now, this could be retail. You're still in the morning. Most of the time, your big investors aren't going to do anything until the end of the day. The big moves won't happen until the end of the day. 33% of the volume comes in at the end of the day, but this is very light volume. You have 4 times the amount of volume right now, almost 5 times the amount of volume right now in GME than you do in the SPY. You have about 2 or 3 times the amount of volume in AMC than the actual SPY right now, and that's sketchy. All right, we're just waiting. There's our 5-minute pullback. Let's see if this is able to cross up. It's good it's holding up. This is where you want to complete a little mini cup here, big rounded, no violations of the cup. Now you make the handle, you just don't want to go too low. I'd really like this level right here. If we can get to 488, I think that would be a good area for buyers to step in, and we'll see. We're not going to be the buyers that step in early. We're going to react. Miles, I'm glad you're here. You're a good example of why you don't just trade in this market. If you're just not trading in this market right now, you're like, whew, life's good. Because it's rigged. Because it should be going up. We know that from the dark pool data. There's trades happening at way higher levels, so it should be going up, but it's being suppressed. That's why there's so much volume in it and it hasn't moved. There's tons of volume in it and it hasn't moved. Yeah, I saw that, Robert. I just read that. It's tons of volume. If it was happening with that volume in Nvidia, Nvidia would skyrocket, but it's not Nvidia because they don't want AMC and GME to go up. If the volume is going into Nvidia going down, Nvidia won't go down because they want to hold it there. And GME is looking a little weaker. Now you are getting the 5 minute to curl back up, which is a good sign because you're positive, but you really need this hourly to curl up. Once that hourly curls up, it'll look like AMC, and AMC is even closer to the center line than GME. But just know, if AMC pops, GME most likely pops, right? So if AMC pops, then they're going to direct their attention to AMC, and then if GME pops after that, then they're going to be confused and they're going to be like freaking out, and then you'll probably see upward moves. But none of this has confirmed yet. You see how AMC is closer to the center line? I'm going to take this off. I don't like it. You see how AMC is closer to the center line, just barely? So AMC does look a little better. That's why I'm seeing if I said a 5 minute pullback, and then if that can curl back up, we could curl up the hourly MACD, and that would be a good sign. Now we're getting closer and closer to the center line. That can keep continuing. We'll see. They just announce when they do dilution. But the thing with the dilution is if the CEO of GameStop comes out and buys those shares at the lower price and owns more of the company, that would be probably a good thing. Does it look like a Head and Shoulders? It does, but Head and Shoulders just doesn't play out. Cup and handle is a lot more something to pay attention to. Actually, this is a pretty weak reversal signal, I think, on the 5 minute actually, because it dropped down. So if you really want to see the strongest cup and handle, it would be like this. That would be the strongest cup and handle. That would be the strongest one. This one is not the best, but it is one, so we'll pay attention to it. And the hourly is about to curl up, so we'll pay attention to it. The SPY, it looked like Head and Shoulders here, right? It looked like Head and Shoulders there. The only problem with it is you already saw the breakdown, and now you're able to go back in this range. Okay, so this could have been a fake out, and actually we could just turn up on a 5 minute, and boom, upside is there. So this is the daily expected move. They're trying to fake people out. Puts haven't really rolled in. Yeah, puts haven't rolled in, but I think there's another rigged move higher personally, but that's an I think. I gotta wait till the charts tell me. Yeah, the Head and Shoulders played out and you bought back into the range, which means you can't really read into it too much. So now if this were to fall, so how the Head and Shoulders really should have played out if it was going to do it is you need to see something dramatic, then go retest the bottom area, right? You need to retest here and then see another drop. That's not what happened. You notice we're holding up above the important area right now. So that was a fake out Head and Shoulders. That's why I don't like Head and Shoulders too much. I mention them and then I'll be like, this is how it would break down. This is how it wouldn't, right? You hear me say that type of stuff all the time. Now, cup and handle, a lot of the time I just say, this looks like a cup and handle. Cup and handle is a stronger signal in my opinion. Now, Qs, you could argue there's maybe a Head and Shoulders still forming here. You haven't violated the high yet, so the potential is there. But if that 5 minute curls up, it's probably not, it's probably going to violate it. I guess SPY looks like a Head and Shoulders. That was the SPY. That was the SPY. Yeah, you already played it out and then you weren't able to fully break down to get a retest. You were able to build back up into the range, which usually is a sign of a fake out. We'll see though. We still have to see. Forever it's over. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great question. I love talking about that. That's great. Because it's important to people to know about these patterns. Head and shoulders is still a good signal. It's just you need to pay attention to how it's playing out. Because they can play out in a million different ways with head and shoulders. Cup and handle is simple. It's like cup, you form the handle, you go past the cup level. Awesome. Alan, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. This is not my mug. Okay? God, I'm trying to wait for this. I'm trying to wait for this hourly bar to fully complete. We just don't want the 15 minutes to roll over. I don't want the 15 minutes to roll over. I think that would be too much. I want a little 5-minute rollover that keeps this hourly up high. Okay, so now we only have 1 minute left in the bar, so the next bar is going to be the one. We're just kind of going sideways. That's a good sign. GME going sideways too. It's not a bad sign, just not as good of a look as AMC. Not as much strength right now. Yeah, Laws, you're right. Exactly. They don't cross the center line. They don't cross the neckline, or they cross the neckline and buy right back into the range. Like, people just don't understand them well enough. That's why it's hard to talk about, because on YouTube I can talk about them a million times, but unless you see me talk about them a million times in a row, you're not going to know everything. It's pretty much just, you need to break down lower with that head and shoulders. Meta bearish. Yeah, Meta looked weak too. Ooh, that's a rejection. 30-minute crossed over right here. This is what we mentioned a little bit ago. 30-minute crossed over. It's not a good look. Are you rejecting? Yeah, so 2 hour can see a pullback here. That's what you would overall say for Meta. You really up here, you don't want to be like, oh, reversal and trend. Right here, you could say, oh, reversal and trend. Look how steep that is. But this just says pullback. Maybe I go up again. Maybe I see this in the future. But see, this head and shoulders is another example. Look at this. Look at this head and shoulders. We break it, the fake out, we go back up. This, right when we get above right here, these closing bars, this little range here, right when you close above that, you should know, oh, this is not playing out. You need to reject from the wicks and the closes in here. A retest is fine, but if you violate the area where you're retesting, then that means the retest failed, right? Check the 10-year. 10-year, if that curls up, daily scale, not a good sign for the 10-year yield. Well, good sign for the 10-year yield going higher. As of right now, I'm trying to fade. Let's look at a 4 hour. So the 4 hour cross is not the best. 2 hour divergence up here towards our 4.495 looks likely. We'll see. Maybe we can read into TLT a little bit. Looks kind of flaggy, doesn't it? So 2 hour crosses up, positivity. 30-minute crosses down, more negativity. And we're going into some important data. That just looked like a flight to safety, so I'm surprised. XLU not showing strength. All right, let's see if AMC, that printed the next hourly bar. So this is where they really want to hammer AMC, because if this thing sees any positivity during this hour, it's not going to be the best sign for the short sellers, in my opinion. Uh-oh. See if that curls up. Oh, Apple looks ready to break down. I still would like to see a reversal signal. I'm not... You do have the 5-minute little divergence here. It's just a 5-minute. I don't like that. I think a 15-minute pullback looks likely. Either that or this is just ripped away. But I think right now we have to be cautious. We have to say what's in front of us. We can't just make up our own stuff. We have to say what the indicator is telling us. If the 15-minute crosses down, that would be a sign of a pullback. It is a bearish contrarian indication in a bullish trend. So that would just be a pullback like this. If that curls up, continues the bullish trend, awesome. Now if we see a reversal signal, right? We see a reversal signal, that would be more telling. That would have more probabilities for downside reversal and trend. No, there is no clear direction for the Qs. That's why you're dealing with a lot. That's why I'm overall saying, like, what if you just were patient, you wait for a daily MACD to cross, and then you go, okay, cool. That's it. It's just if the daily crossed down, it would be a lot easier. You'd know a direction, and then you just pay attention to maybe 1 or 2 rigged moves. But this looks like nonsense. This, the fact that they're not sending this higher yet, either means they can't, they don't have enough liquidity, or it means they want to send it lower, but they can't do that either. So it's like, I think still we might have one more rigged move in us, but at this point, the 30-minute looks so wonky. You technically have divergence here. It could drop at any moment, but I think they're going to rig it one more time. We'll see. Maybe an hourly divergence is what we should actually look for, some kind of rapid move up. PCC only at 0.888. Dollar trying to taper off here, giving you the hourly divergence, pretty much comparable to a 15-minute. See if that's a pull down. Maybe we react back up in the future with some kind of upward move. And volatility too on the 30-minute is crossing down with divergence. Now that is holding up better. That is holding up better. So if that curls back up, might not be a good sign for the stock market. You're kind of in a moment where it's like, we could go a little higher, we could go a lot lower. But the Qs are just, it's difficult. It's difficult. So when it's difficult, just zoom out. Daily, awesome. 2 hour, awesome, it's crossing over right now. Maybe that's the signal we pay attention to, right? 2 hour divergence, we were saying this is the time. Okay, we'll see. We have 55 minutes left in the bar, and a rigged move can come. Housing looks like shit. Another crash indicator there. We're going to catch up to housing and catch up to XLU eventually. Uh-oh. 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 Hold on, we got 55 minutes left. We got 55 minutes left. The 5-minute hasn't confirmed up, so that is crossing though as of now. GME, AMC looks stronger today. I think they're fighting GME today. And I think GME is kind of a good distraction because AMC's ripping. Once AMC rips, then AMC might become the distraction and GME will follow it. But you really need the hourly to curl up for GME. It's not too close yet, and it's kind of going sideways, kind of flagging. AMC is curling up on an hourly MACD as of right now. Now that has 55 minutes left in the bar, guys, so we have to take that with a grain of salt. I don't want the 15 minutes to pull back, man. If the 15-minute crosses, I'm like, it looks like a further pullback. It kind of is, Sabrina. It's tempting. Just know it's rigged to the upside. They're trying to make it look juicy. Look how they're holding it up. I think a 15-minute pullback is likely, but what if it doesn't? What if there's a 5-minute pullback, it curls up, makes a divergence, and that's it? So just wait for your signals to tell you what to do. Tesla seeing a rejection divergence on a 5-minute means we could maybe see a 30-minute curl up, but that's pretty deep, guys. So this is like a head and shoulders kind of. It's just a very freaking wonky one with a lot of violations. So this is overall like, okay, maybe my base was like at the closing bars right here. We get a bunch of fake outs, but once we break it, now this is how it should react. We get the retest of the important area, and then we fall back down. We get that to go close, we curl back down. That is how a head and shoulders should play out. This one still just looks ugly, though. It looks so wonky. But if you retest this and you reject, all these people in here that are still holding positions are going to be like, screw that, I'm out. So we'll see. But if that starts to build back through that zone, get up to like 175, then you're like, oof, this might be all a fake out. Up 7.22% on the 5-minute. Are we curling up? Not yet. The hourly crossing is the most important. No, like, I understand what you're saying, but you already kind of seriously violated that. So this is the level we were paying attention to. It still can be a good level to pay attention to for this. But okay, Tesla's rolling negative, so there's no reason to think that's going to play out, right? Not anymore. You already broke through this. You built up liquidity for so long. The most likely scenario is you head lower. But I understand your thinking. It's a good thought. But you kind of violated it twice. Here, you didn't really close above it. But here, you closed above it. You went back in. Here, you went way above it. So I wouldn't call this really a head and shoulders. I would say this might go for a full retest. And then maybe you see a big move in the future. We'll see. But I'm not convinced of that head and shoulders by any means. All right, this is the day. Apple, man. All right, I'm gonna have to hop off soon. What time is it? 11:30. All right, guys, I'm gonna probably have to hop off here in a minute. I'm probably gonna have to hop off like now, actually. It's just 11:40. It's 11:40. I really have to hop off. But what I would overall say is just like be very cautious. If this hourly curls up for AMC, it'd be a good sign, but we know this stock is suppressed. It's just a wonky market. It's going to keep being wonky until we see something break, in my opinion. But I do have to go. I have other stuff I have to work on throughout the day. So I do appreciate you guys being here. I really do. Thank you for liking, subscribing. A lot of subscribers coming in. Love it. If you want to learn how I do things, there's a course in there in the description. It's for $100. It should be fixed on the credit debit side. They told me it's fixed. They're sending me my money. Tomorrow they're sending it to me. I'm like, good. So they're not trying to mess with me anymore. And so I think it would be a good opportunity for you guys to get out there and learn. But if something crazy happens, I'll hop right back on live, okay? I'll hop right back on live. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the great questions. We looked at a bunch of charts. I mean, I really enjoy my mornings with you guys. I really do. All right, guys. Well, good luck with the rest of your trades. Thank you again for subscribing. I see some more people, Carambola, coming in to subscribe at the end here. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have all the luck in the world. Oh my God, is that going to turn up? Hold on. Did that halt? There you go. Thank you for subscribing. Did that halt for a second? We'll see if that's all the handle you need, but for now, I do have to hop off. I have other stuff to work on for my other job, so I really do appreciate you guys being here. Dedicate yourself to learning. If you need to take a break from this complicated market, I think the course is great. For you to just learn, practice, because this market is just ripping you apart. If this is ripping you apart during these shorter time frames, look at the bigger ones, guys. Look at the bigger ones, okay? They will be easier to manage those trades. Apple with that big rigged move this morning. Congratulations if you actually did manage that trade, because that is as good as a win. They could have taken all your money from you there. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. I'll leave you on AMC. We'll see if anything crazy happens with this guy throughout the rest of the day. If something really crazy happens, I will hop back on, all right? Peace.